Start recording. Start the stream. Start the YouTube. Hey! Hey! What? It's Skycat Live! Oh, you can hear that I sang for fucking 6 hours yesterday. Been singing for my dime. You know, been singing almost every other day or something like that. You can hear it in my voice. I sound like a Mickey Mouse without wanting to. Hey, Goofy, you can. Hey, we should go water each other in the butt. Hey, Goofy. Hi guys, it's Skycat Live. It is currently 2:25 p.m. It is August 8, 2024. I've wrecked my voice singing and drinking and just being 40 and smoking and drugs and problems, whatever. And I am here to entertain you, and I love you, and yes, and I have put all the videos of yesterday up on my channel. So yesterday's 13 hour and 36 minute session is on my video channel, as you can see reflected here. And today I have to choose my main, but we know what the offs are going to be. That's going to be FFXI and EvE Online. I'm pleased to report that my corporation leader, Governor Lee, has beat the drums and beat the quarters here, and we are assembling in 2.5. Well, sorry, either 2 or 1.5 or 2.5 hours time. Today we beat to quarters for a. Sorry, let me pull my Discord. I had to restart the computer. Let me pull it off the big face here, guys. I'm terribly sorry. Deactivate, activate. Nope, that's the wrong one. Deactivate. Come back. Where are the scenes? There we go. You activate. I hate OBS. There we go. So okay, FFXI, Final Fantasy XI, EvE Online. Where'd you go? There's FFXI, but where did EvE Online go? Yep, you're on the wrong screen. Is my bedroom television off? I don't have time. And yeah, we okay. Okay. Gotta kill the panda. I'm set up in the goldsmithing guild. Oh no, how's that right? No, don't do that. I'm already in. Oops, don't do that. So then, do I play WoW the War Within pre-patch? Do I play 7 Days? Do I play Mortal 2? Those are the three mains on deck today. Even FFXI will sit in the offs. Consulting my Discord calendar here, we are looking at a CTA. Oh, my speakers are still on. Okay, and then yeah, there we go. Cat Sky.
Connecting.
Oh yeah, I get to farm Pokefen today, which is awesome. My headphones are not on. There we go. Headphones are on. What else are we doing here? We are. I am I'm purchasing goldsmithing materials. Ooh, cheap silver, cheap copper. I love cheap silver and copper. Ooh. That's how cat women get rich. Or cat boys, man boys. Mantras, same thing. Mantras. I was in Mantras for 5 years. I'm a mantra. It's dudes who like to look like cat women. My name's Skycat. It's not that I like to look like a cat woman. I actually don't. But I like looking at cat women all day, and I don't like staring at man ass all day. So yeah, mantra, all the same to me. There we go. Gotta get my YouTube up. We're on, but we're not listed. So edit. War Within, WoW War Within pre-patch. I don't think so. We're going. Oh no, I think we are doing War Within pre-patch today. Yeah, that is. Well, until the CTA, which I need to look into here. Yes, confirmed. CTA tonight, 23 hours and 30. Currently, beat time is 21:27. So yeah, that's in 2 hours and 3 minutes. 2 hours and 3 minutes will be, or 2 minutes, excuse me, will be 4:30. So at 4:30 confirmed, call to arms tonight, 23H30. The ships are the Fatherland Doctrine. The rocks might be used, meet Alldayerrydaybabyf. I might have to invest in a rock, but that means buying a Plex. I'm not buying a Plex. I'm just going to take an Eagle. I'll probably be okay with an Eagle. in approximately. Last night we lost 198 million, and they lost 276 million in a skirmish, and the enemies lost 1.32 billion, which means that they didn't lose too much, right? Now I expect the same operation to happen today at 23:30, and he's good CAG. I think we'll be okay. You know, I trust in him. He's done some things like the last stop that I went into. I popped to the fatherland right in the center, and there was like 15 fucking people there as the bombs hit, and I walked in on our 5-star at the lead. And we got nuked and lost like 35 or whatever. It was less than that. It was like 17 eagles or something like that. We lost 17 motherfucking eagles. That's a lot of money, you know. That's 17 times 300. That's $5 billion or something. We lost $5 billion in just a round, in just a volley of the smart bombs. That's insane. That left a bitter taste in my mouth. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna blame the leader. I just got bombed right through. Goddamn, what do they call that? Emergency damage relief or core, whatever thing it is that just basically makes you impervious almost. They still killed all of us through the high damage shield. And I was like, this is the leadership's fault somehow. But then I realized that no, like I just, it was just the game. Like, it's war. Bombs were coming, That's not his fault that they fire bombs at us. Me warping in was kind of his fault, but I mean, but that's my fault. I'm a streamer. I can't get in the Discord and listen to him say don't jump, without broadcasting his terribly. One of the weird things about my corporation leader, I really like him. His name is General Lee, friend of mine. And he has promoted me almost to his crew within a year and a half of meeting him. But we've never actually we've spoken, but we've never actually had a personal moment or anything like that. But he has promoted me almost to the level of officer in absolute order. And I've never led an op. I've never led a fleet here on this one because I don't do EvE on a real basis. So. Now, gotta plan my day. I've got to beat to quarters in exactly 2 hours in Daira. Daira will be a... What happened to my inventory? There we go. Daira will be a jump clone out. So I guess I am free to mine Pokeven for another hour and a half. Uninstall, reappear, come back across the universe, take the jump clone, beat to quarters, install logs, get in the Eagle, and fit the roster. And that's what happens in the next 2 hours. It'll be EvE heavy content, I guess. No, it'll be all of it. It'll be WoW, EvE, and FFXI all at once. So let's get the let's get the BNet running. There we go. And yeah, and then I don't need to do anything. I can go out in Venture right now and skate the rim at the belts and see if anybody comes and tongues my hole, or leaves me alone, because it's like, please just leave me alone. The ship is the cheapest ship in the entire game. Leave me alone. You know what I'm doing. I'm making $1 out of 15 fucking cents. You know what I'm doing. Leave me alone. Y'all are stupid. You're stupid. You constantly harass poor people, even on the goddamn video games. It drives me fucking crazy. I just do not understand it. And I'm not poor, but I have no money. All my money goes to other people. It's stupid. Both in the game and in the real world. So it's like, like, I don't know, man. It just feels like, why would you target the cheapest ship? The cheapest ship. It's just dumb. Anyways. Okay, so I wanted to get live, and we're gonna look at the canceling of Jimmy Donaldson live as we speak right now. There are internet warriors doing battles on their cell phones and their computers, trying to slay the terrible Mr. Beast. And let's hear what Tom Dark has to say about this, because I know that Tom Dark likes Mr. Beast.
He also knows about another
I like Mr. Beast, unless he's a pederast.
portable document format who was working at Mr. Beast while actually on the registry.
Ladies and gentlemen, a new allegation has hit the Mr. Beast towers. The
New allegation that I haven't heard.
Antichrist allegations are back in full swing.
Why should Mr. Beast be like Johnny Depp or Mr. Heard? Johnny Depp or Amber Heard? Why?
Boys and girls, okay? He likes microchips.
Mr. Heard.
He bought into
Heard.
Faced a church.
Welcome back to Heard with Purd.
To turn it into his
Heard with Purd.
Thumbnail studio.
I love that shit. Fucking Parks and Rec was such a good show. Fucking love that show. Heard.
Panic much? And now he's being accused of knowingly hiring a registered sex offender.
Okay, so Mr. Beast knowingly hired and obfuscated the past of a known sex predator. I'm going to put in the chat what I put in Philip DeFranco's chat when this shit hit, which is, should we, comma, in all caps, I'm going to say it, should we, comma, cancel, comma, people, comma, for that which their friends do? I'm going to get rid of that which. It's unnecessary. For what their friends do works. For what their friends do, right? Well, it sucks because I know nobody reads these comments. But somebody told me in my first year that being a streamer, like, it's just sort of about, like, building community. And one of the ways that weird internet, like, interminably online people do is they leave comments wherever they go, so that the universe, well, to me it's the universe, the internet is populated with proof that people were there. And so I leave comments pretty much wherever I go. And if I get a response, I erase the comment because it means somebody paid attention to it. And I ghost them. And if they don't, I leave the comment. I just leave it for all time, right? And as you can see, look, people respond to my comments all the time. Look at this. There, right there. You can see right here. In the last, like, 200 things, you can see here, like, 50 people have hearted my comments and all this. I'm not proud of this. I'm saying that it's very difficult for me to pass by anyone or anywhere. I know why. It's because I dated my heroin girl was this, stripper in Denver from Ketchikan, Alaska, and there's goddamn 300 people in Ketchikan, Alaska, or something like that. So they come up in a reality where, like, they say hello to you and they aggressively walk towards you and they're like, hello every time they pass somebody. It doesn't matter if it's the inner city or not. They're like, hello, how are you? Hi. And she would be like, hello, my name is M. And she would just tell them her name, too. At randos on the street. And they loved her. I mean, and that's how I met her. She was very, very outgoing in the cab. She, like, on the way home, she just talked to me for 45 minutes, you know? And I was like, yeah, it's really cool to meet, like pretty much the most beautiful brunette in Denver. And I could tell she was on drugs, but I didn't know which one. And then it just got worse from there, and I won't go. That's not what I'm here talking about. I'm talking about she taught me small town etiquette, which I really fucking believe in now. I believe in it more than, like, almost God or love. Like, to me, it's almost a more universal etiquette or something. It's like a universal etiquette where you're just like, hello, I'm a living thing and I'm standing next to you. I'm on the corner with you, or whatever. Hi, I'm not going to ignore you or say that or walk past you and be like, you know, and it's difficult for me. I had to, like, after being with her for 2 years and 7 months or something like that, it was difficult for me to not act like her. But I'm not from a small town. I'm from West Side Denver, and it's huge. And it's weird because it's hard to reconcile these two things. But they're good things. It's good to have the good fences make good neighbors thing. Americans don't trust each other because everybody's poor. If everybody had 3 square meals and didn't steal or hustle or any of this other stuff, you know, then the trust would be back, and we would be back to everybody's dream of a 50s America and Cold War or whatever, when, you know, Norman Rockwell is the norm, and everybody sits at the diner, and maybe there's some poverty, but it's because they're drinking themselves to death, and they'll tell you right to their face that they're not working right now, you know, that kind of thing. And that's okay. I'm actually really fucking okay with drinking yourself to death in the goddamn gutter. I believe in your God-given goddamn right. Like Bender Rodriguez says, to fucking kill yourself in the gutter. I believe in America's goddamn right to fucking kill yourself in the gutter like the next man. You know? I believe in, if you want to ruin your life with fucking marriage, go right the fuck ahead. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. The freedom. I believe in the freedom, and we kind of lost it. So now, I don't know what we do, but I believe that we have. I think it's some weird social experiment, and I believe Jimmy Donaldson is like this. I watched a thing about Joe Biden yesterday, and they were like, the only reason he became president is he had this charisma that made all the people that had never even met him believe that they knew him, and I believe that people on, you know. I believe that certain jobs are like this. I believe that interior decorators are like this. I believe certain people on panhandling on the streets are like this. I believe that, you know, politicians are like this, and that drug dealers are like this, and musicians are like this. I think that, you know, it's a personality trait. That small town etiquette, being nice to everybody that you fucking meet, or at least acknowledging them. You don't have to be nice to them, but you at least acknowledge them. You give them the nod. For us, it was always the fucking nod. If it's somebody who's actually your age that went to a school in your city, you give them the fucking, you know, the shake and the bake. For us, it was the slap and the bump. You know, slap bump, and it was like a coded language for anybody Colorado native, anybody my age, anybody from the 7 high schools in the city. You know, I knew all of them, and so if you knew somebody my age, it was a slap bump. These days, it's like, oh no, is that weird drug addict guy gonna rob me, or oh no, that guy's got more money than me because his family gave it to him, or the government gave it to him, or something like that. Oh no, there's just something weird like that. I'm like, oh no, and I'm guilty of that, which is kind of weird. It's like weird to be in that situation now, where I'm like, oh no, and I don't know what to say about all of it, but I believe that a social experiment needs to be done where the small town etiquette is essentially forced, like forced on Americana in general, in our politics, in our treatment of each other. I think they used to call it God-fearing or something. It's not God-fearing. It's sort of like, it's like family values, but it has nothing to do with bullshit about family or trans or kids or weird nuclear family structures or anything like that. I'm talking about like this idea that we were all on the same team once. You know, we were all Team America once. Now it's dog eat dog, and we're derisive towards the poor. We're derisive towards the rich. We're derisive towards everybody. Even the middle class kind of has like a bad rap now, sort of, because they can't seem to pull themselves out of the destitution, and it's weird. You know, and so everybody gets shamed for being a drug addict, which I can't stand. Everybody gets shamed for being poor. Everybody gets shamed for being homeless. Everybody gets shamed, and if they don't, and if they aren't shamed by the people around them, they shame themselves. And they do it to themselves. I know my people do it to themselves all the fucking time. It's insane.
To work on his videos.
So what do? We force small. It's the old parable. It reminds me of that movie. You know, or like Gatsby. Gatsby is a good example of it. Like, there's 2 good movies that have shown this before. Gatsby, or what's the other one? It's The Aviator. It doesn't matter what you end up doing or how much money you have. My mother, the strongest thing my mother ever taught me is that God, manners are God's money. Was the strongest thing any humans ever taught me before. Manners are God's money. It's how I walk through rich circles and poor circles and middle class circles and drug circles, kingpin circles. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is. I can walk through the ghetto and nobody will touch me, and I freely have done that my entire life for like 20 years. Nobody will touch me, the white boy with the nicer clothes than usually what they have. But I can freely walk through the ghetto, and you want to know how? I nod at every motherfucker. I don't care who they are. Woman, man, child, doesn't matter, grandma. What's up? What's up? I give them the nod. Like, yo, I belong here. I'm American. I don't have anything. You don't need to fuck with me. I don't, it doesn't matter. And I have actually walked through South Central like this. I got abandoned in LA one time. My mother left me in LA. She just left me in LA. She fucking went back to Denver, left my ass in LA. And I just like walked through LA until I realized that what I was doing was not wise. I was headed straight to Skid Row. So I just called a friend of mine whose parents worked at a fucking airport, and I was for an airline. And I was like, can you get me some kind of emergency ticket? Remember that time that I moved your house like 4 times and all that? Remember that time I like showed up at your kid's graduation and all this? I kind of need a favor. I'm stuck in LA. My mother abandoned me at LAX with no money, no house, nothing. For no good reason, just for having a fight with her. That was it. I don't even remember what the fight was about. And so I had to, and my friend, his mother, my friend, he's dead now. He shot his father in the face, and then himself a second later. But his mother bought me a ticket on Frontier, and I'll never forget it. I love my friend Jay. She got me a ticket home from LAX, and I was fucked out in LA. That's what stranded richer white boy does when he's screwed and left in LA. But I walked out of LAX and I went walking to Crenshaw because I know Crenshaw. I've lived near Crenshaw. I know Crenshaw. I lived in Long Beach for 4 years. Like I did not live far from San Pedro and Crenshaw. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I actually really, really love California. I forgot how much I love the West Coast. Pretty sunlight, beautiful women. People are happy. I don't care what they say about how unhappy the poor people are. I actually think that the rich people are actually unhappy. I think the poor people aren't that unhappy. When you actually look at them, they're just living their lives. And I really liked the area. But then I realized that I'd have to come home. And that I'm West Side Denver boy. I'm not West Side Denver boy anymore. But all my connections were West Side Denver. If I had any connections in LA, I would have stayed in LA.
What? If this is true, this could actually be the end. This could be it for Mr. Beast. Like this could be the very end of his career.
So let's go back to Mr. Beast, right? So I'm across the universe again. I'm across the universe, but if you try to literally force remember it's City Mouse, Country Mouse. It's where I got this concept from. It was a beautiful thing, remember? It was the Aviator. Howard Hughes. He was a country bumpkin. His parents owned Tool Co., the #1 tool patent company, and he had more money than God, right? And he built the Spruce Goose, which is in Long Beach, and I've been to the Spruce Goose. I lived in Long Beach for 4 years. And I've been to the Queen Mary 2, or was it Queen Elizabeth? I think it was actually QE2, Queen Elizabeth 2 and all that, right? And Howard Hughes was the country mouse, and he falls in love with a movie star. I can relate. The love of my life currently is basically a movie star. She's just not famous. I mean, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever even conceived of. And I don't say this because I'm in love with her and biased. I say because I believe she actually could be on the cover of 17 and dominate the top 10 Hollywood models. Like, dominate them, And so it's weird when you fall in love with that perfect 10 that even the world thinks is the perfect 10. It's weird. But where I'm going with this is we had a relationship that was kind of like that, where I'm like a 5 and she's like a 10. And it's weird because it reminds me of the relationship between Kate Blanchett and Leo DiCaprio in The Aviator, where like she calls him Country Mouse and he calls her City Mouse, and they never really had that much in common. I'm the city boy, she's the country girl, but we never had that much in common, really. not even age, really. I mean, she's 26 now, I think. But when we were dating, she was 22, and I'm 40 something. It was disgusting. People hated it. But I don't care. She was of age. I don't care. She was the love of my life. No regrets. So, I mean, the best one anyway. She was the best one. I don't know if she's the love of my life, but she was the best one. She was better than the girl who took my virginity. She saved my soul. She got me off heroin and fucking methamphetamine. She saved my soul. So, where I'm going with this is now we have a city mouse, country mouse sensibility about America in our tribalist war. And the country mouse etiquette needs to be forced on the city mice. Does that make sense? The girl from Ketchikan, who I dated for 3 years, taught me how to live in a 300-person town. What you must do, the etiquette you must observe, acknowledging every single motherfucker there because you will see them again tomorrow. The same is true of EVE Online and in certain global video game communities and stuff where the reputational thing is just one single server, like EVE Online is one single server. So if you fuck some guy like I do and then tell them, fuck you, go uninstall piece of shit, you don't deserve the game, that's gonna affect you. That guy will treat you shittier in the future, somewhere in the future, just like living in a small town, like Art Alexakis said on Sparkle and Fade. You know, everybody you know, we're in a small town. There's no secrets in a small town, is the old cliche, right? That is what must happen with our government. That is what must happen with our cities. That is what must happen with our culture in the inner cities. Everybody must start doing the old style America. Oh shit! Oh, I'm being attacked. I don't know why. Oh, stations, Hotella. Talk up, 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 talk up. Talk up, talk up, talk up. 3, 2, 1, go, bitch, bye. See ya. Yep, sorry, I was AFK. Terribly sorry to steal your gank from you, buddy, but I'm better than you. Just admit it.
Exaggerated this time.
So the small town etiquette of a Howard Hughes or a stripper from Ketchikan, Alaska is what must be forced on the world. The world, but I mean, but America first. America always first, right? So, and then we treat the world how to, small town, third world treat each other with etiquette and nicety and never diss each other, never rob each other. I see a lot of rich people going after the poor people in America. And I don't really think that Americans should be predatorizing. I don't think that's a word, but I'm going to make it a word. I don't believe that Americans should be hunting other Americans financially. If you want to fuck somebody with some bank shit or some hustling or some drop shipping or whatever the fuck, if you want to fuck somebody, do it to somebody in a different country. But I believe that the rich in this country have a city mouse thing that they're doing to even the country mice, which is treating us with terrible disrespect. Prices are too high on all the 10 things that we need to live, like shelter, food, water, rent, everything. Do you need help carrying?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you too, yes.
And that's what we need. We need the country etiquette we need the country mouse etiquette to the city mice. There it is. There's the social experiment. That's how I win the Pulitzer Prize, bitch. It's like John Nash, General Dynamics, right? If 5 guys go for the blonde, nobody gets the blonde. If they all take 4 girls, everybody gets a date, right? It's the same thing. If the city mice, if the country mice teach the city mice country mice etiquette, America can heal, right? And that's the lesson. That's the lesson. And I don't know how to tell people this. I would have to go and write a thesis and take it to a scientific paper and go to Yale and be like, here's general dynamics for social socioeconomic situations like the American experiment. And I don't know how I solve it. I don't know how to force country mouse etiquette on city mice, but I'm fucking gonna try. I don't know how. It's a mission to civilize. Oh my god, Tom Dark has a 9 Inch Nails shirt on. Your 9-inch nail shirt is the best shirt ever made. Your 9-inch nail shirt is the best shirt ever made. I used to have every single 9-inch nail shirt ever made. Oh, yep. Yep. And I paid for them too. Mommy didn't buy that. I paid for that. I worked. You know, those shirts were fucking $30 a pop. I blew like $1,000 on 50 9-inch nail shirts, and she wouldn't pay for them. That was me. I did that.
On August 7th, 2024, Dogpack404 posted the second video in his Mr. Beast Exposed series. In the first video, he accused Mr. Beast of running illegal lotteries, faking his videos, among other things. And in
So country city mouse etiquette, right?
this video, he interviewed a former employee of Mr. Beast.
I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So whatever happens, happens at this point.
In the video, this former employee, Jake Weddle, claims that there was a known man on the registry who was hired to work in Mr. Beast videos. He also claims to have heard rumors that Jimmy knew and tried to cover it up, but he has no proof for that specific claim. That's just hearsay, at least coming from him, but, you know, he is an ex-employee who's claiming to know. So that's what we know about what he said there.
Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything who worked there. And like
Who
you
worked
can,
there?
you know,
Who works there? That's
someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you know, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on that's one thing. You know, you go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. You know, like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be the rehabilitation in this country.
Me too.
But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that.
Sorry, I just had to pause the video real quick. 1 to 11 years old. So whoever this person is, keep in mind, they're not just like some borderline case or something. This is not like a classic YouTube creep allegation. This is like some kind of actual file who was convicted of a crime with someone under the age of 11 years old. That is absolutely insane. I feel like I need to pull my eyes out of my sockets right now and start eating them, because I think they'd be really delicious right now if I could no longer see and perceive the world for how dark it is. If that is true, okay, this is not only like a brand risk, okay? This is not brand risk territory. This is like, how did that happen? How the hell did that happen, Satan? How did that happen? Did they just not background check this guy? When was this? Was this like early on in Jimmy's channel when he wasn't background checking people properly? Was it later on? A lot of questions here need to be answered like right now, or else this guy is toast. I think that at this point, Mr. Beast is going to have to respond to these allegations, because before, you know, you had the claims of running illegal lotteries. That's bad enough. The claim of pushing gambling on children, that's bad enough, right? That's really bad. I think he needs to respond to that regardless. Faking the videos, I don't know. About, you know, the raccoon actor or whatever, but illegal lotteries or pushing gambling on children is already terrible. You know what's even worse, okay? The thing that is even worse that I couldn't have even fathomed could have even been an allegation here, okay? Having a registered offender in videos that millions of children watch on a cast that children look up to, that is absolutely unreal. That is insane. That is undoubtedly not only like, why did you do that, but also that is an active risk to children that I think needs to be addressed like now, like right now.
But he was like the manager when it all started.
Daily quests are now reset.
And you know that he knew, and because
Archmage Colleen
he'll
says,
be in
it's
videos,
been too long,
he'll
Drenda.
be in thumbnails,
Glad to see you back
he'll
in
be
Daily
around And whenever he
Archmage
is,
Brendan says, it has.
he's wearing
I'm
a
grateful
mask.
the
Why
council
would you wear a
accepted
mask?
feedback
Why
so
would you
ready.
conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing?
Archmage Colleen
That
says,
you were
of
a
course.
registered sex offender?
We're always in need
And
of a
that
bit
your
of your
face could be
talent.
looked up on a thing?
So we see the video there in
Archmage
the
Brendan
corner of the
says,
screen
and I
of
mean to
this
put those
alleged
talents to
person,
good
and they're
use.
wearing a
You could be
mask
sure
when
of
no
that.
one else is in the video. I decided to check the video as
Elvira
Khadgar
Windrana
said
says,
you would
Edgar
come.
said you would come.
I thought it
I
best
thought
to
it
wait
best to wait for you.
It is a good day for a hunt.
Hello? I don't know.
if there's any explanation given for why they're wearing a mask. It's from 5 years ago, has 120 million views, and you can see the person here on the left who is this ex-employee that Jake is saying is the offender in question. And in the video itself, they say everyone's name except for this guy.
How long do you think you're
My
gonna last?
people are no strangers
what-
to voices from below, but this radiant song is different.
Is being heard all across Azeroth. The Council doesn't know what to make of it.
There must be someone who does. I'll let you know what I find.
Alleria. It's been too long, old friend.
Good to see you, Khadgar. Doing well?
As well as can be expected. How's the family?
I haven't... It's better if I keep my distance.
Of course, the Void. That would be... Actually, your connection to the Void is why I asked you here. We still don't know what this Dark Heart relic is capable of. But we do know it's in the hands of someone called the Harbinger. Who they are and what they intend to do remains a mystery. Which is why I need your help.
To hunt down a dangerous foe we know nothing about. Honestly, I could use the distraction.
Same old Alleria. Void or no void. I didn't mean to,
See you soon, Khadgar. Dark Heart in hand.
There
Mage
remains
Catcher.
much to be
We
done.
know Iridikron gave the Dark Heart to the Harbinger. But what the Dark Heart is, what the Harbinger plans to do with it.
Always happy.
The Harbinger
to help.
completed. Receive 2 gold, 80 silver, 90 copper. Door to the Rendori. If this investigation involves the Void, it would be wise to consult the Void Elves. We must head to Telegrass Rift and report the situation. I'll speak with Umbric.
We do what we must for those we love.
I don't think I wanted to read the gossip text.
Door to the
Farewell.
Rendori. If this investigation involves... Quest accepted. Door
I'll
to the
open a
Rendori.
rift for us. Follow me.
Ulria Windrunner says, I'll open a rift for us. Follow me.
Head
Ulria
through when
Windrunner
you're
says,
ready.
head through when you're ready.
Have the
Ulria Windrunner
Rendori
says,
noticed
have the
any
Rendori
void
noticed any void
disturbances
disturbances lately? We'll need to hear the Riftwalkers' reports
We
before starting our
have.
own investigation.
The
Perhaps there will be
Riftwalkers
something that
just
tells us where to begin.
returned from their
We'll need to hear the
investigations.
Riftwalkers' reports before starting our own investigation. Perhaps
The shadows can
receive
be
2 gold,
an ally
80 silver, 90 copper.
if controlled.
You receive currency, Flightstone ISK 5.
Come with an open mind.
Riftwalker reports. The Riftwalkers are tasked with investigating all void activity that appears.
Quest
Be
accepted.
open to
Riftwalker reports.
possibilities.
Cracks in the void. Telegrass Rift has always been extremely sensitive to cosmic shifts. It makes for a rather precarious homestead, but the Void Elves have few options available to us. The recent influx in Void energies has resulted in unstable rifts opening sporadically. And with so
shadows, watch
Oh
over
my
you.
god, it's another zone. There is 4 fucking zones.
Wow, easy. Okay. Chris, how long do you think you're gonna last?
That I haven't
Banana
done.
Sunday. We'll just leave Chandler alone.
Cracks in the
How about
void.
you? How long do you think
Telegraph's
you're
rift
gonna
has
last?
always been extremely sensitive to cosmic shifts.
Do not
Quest
bend
accepted. Cracks
to
in
the
the void.
whispers.
There's something else.
Ulria
A vision
Windrunner
is
says
being
there's
seen
something
all
else.
across
A vision is
Azeroth.
being seen all across Azeroth.
They call it the Radiant
Ulria
Song.
Windrunner says they call it the Radiant Song.
Interesting. I'll report
Magister
this
Umbric
to
says
Locust
interesting.
Walker.
I'll report this to Locust
But
Walker.
for now, let us speak
Magister
of your
Umbric says, but for now,
investigation.
let us speak of your investigation. Instructor Duskworker says, you have learned basic control. Mastery, however, can only be attained through practical application. Void initiate yells, behind you. Pull the shadow tether away from the unstable void rift to collapse it. Instructor Duskworker says, how convenient. I could not have timed this better myself. Instructor Duskworker says, what are you waiting for? Concentrate and banish this creature. Pull the shadow tether away from the unstable void rift to collapse it.
Riftwalker Dylan. I just returned from the Dragon Isles.
Riftwalker Dylan says, there was a strange increase in void activity within Aberas. We are still unsure what caused the surge.
We are still unsure what caused the surge.
Riftwalker Dylan says, all quiet now, though. Skycat.live says, Skycat says, at $U. Skycat.live says, Skycat says fuck you.
Riftwalkers aren't. I was asked to investigate Kalimdor.
Riftwalker Saran says, I investigated void incursions along the southern coast. Riftwalker Saran says, but any sign of battle had long passed when I arrived. Seems like a dead end.
Seems like a dead end. New doorways have opened to not
Riftwalker
much
always
to
says,
report,
not much to
I'm
report,
afraid.
I'm afraid.
I sensed activity to
Riftwalker
the
always
north
says,
of the
I
continent.
sensed activity to the north of the
The
continent,
trail went
but the trail went cold near
Zulaman.
Zulaman.
So for some reason, they're never saying this guy's name. They're clearly trying to, like, not reveal his
Magister
identity.
Umbric
They
says,
want
Rift
to know who
Walker
he
has
is.
yet to
And I'm
return
trying to
from
run through
Northrend.
the possibilities in my mind here
Thank
for,
you
like,
for
is there
gathering
any...
reports. Unfortunately, the Riftwalker from Northrend has yet to return. She was investigating void activity in Galakron's Rest. Given that location's connection to the Dark Heart, I'd suggest you search for her. Let's just hope our Riftwalker is still around to give you her report.
Maintain focus and control.
possible defense for Mr. Beast.
I have
Meister
much
Umbridge.
to teach
Thank
you.
you for gathering reports. Unfortunately,
The Rendori shall
Walker
prove
reports
our
completed.
worth.
Meister Umbridge.
All paths are possible.
Excellent work. Those
Cracks in the Void completed. Gulakron's Unrest. Gulakron's Rest. Where the Dark Heart was first empowered by Iridikron. We don't know what power the relic holds, but we do know that the Harbinger now wields it. And now one of our Rift Walkers is missing, right where it all began. I don't believe this is a coincidence, skycat.live. Let's travel to Northrend and search the area. Meet Allyria at Gulakron's Rest in Dragonblight. Received. Quest accepted. Gulakron's Unrest.
The Rift Walker's absence.
Alria Windrunner says,
Could
HA.
it be connected
The Rift
to the
Walker's
Dark
absence.
Heart?
Could it be connected to the Dark Heart?
Guy asked to be anonymous. Maybe he didn't know what he had done. Like, maybe though, like big maybe. Like, I feel like how do you not know is the real question here. How do you not know that he f***ed a kid? How do you not know? Like, what? Maybe somehow this isn't even the same guy. Is that possible? It seems unlikely to me, but Jesus Christ.
How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to? Is it more on the nose, or I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth, you know. So I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if
this guy
that guy
is
didn't
so
do anything.
weird. He is one of the weirder people I've ever
They
seen.
still knew about it, and he was still around.
Weird.
And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers?
Why are you so weird?
What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. He's like, why do you call him Delaware? And I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname?
Used
Allyria
everywhere.
Colloquially?
Time to find our Rift Walker.
Yes, Delaware.
And, if
Don't
we're
ask me
lucky,
why.
discover
Keep your
Allyria
gaze
Windrunner.
fixed.
We know
on
much
the
about how to
target.
walk a mile in her shadows.
What you know about
I don't often work with the Rift Walkers.
likelihood
I prefer to handle missions
that
alone.
he didn't
Quest
know
accepted. Walk a mile in her shadows.
This is where
astronomically low.
Iridikron
Alria
empowered
Windrunner
the
says,
Dark
this is where
Heart.
Iridikron empowered the Dark Heart.
That
But that was millennia ago.
Why
Alria
would there
Windrunner
be
says,
void
why would there be void
activity
activity here? Why
Why
now?
now?
You receive loot, thick fur clothing scraps. You loot 19 silver, 5 copper.
We
Allyria
each
Windrunner.
walk a line.
Allyria Windrunner.
Choose
Dragonblight is the
yours.
grave of Gulakrond, a primal dragon who threatened to devour the world.
The shadow.
We did it! Our future is secured!
Tell me, little one, have you ever questioned why the Titans preserve this timeline?
The Titans safeguard our world from monsters like you!
Your faith means nothing to them. As you burn in the flames of my brother's wrath, they will not come. All they wanted was our world. With this, the Harbinger will pry it from their grasp. And when the Titans come to reclaim their prize, I will be waiting.
Grand Necrolord Antioch yells, the Light King demands more Frost WYRMS be sent to Angratha. Meet his demands or face my wrath. Alria Windrunner says, tracks.
They might belong to our Rift Walker.
Let's
follow
follow them.
them.
What tracks? What tracks?
What
Valeria
news?
Windrunner.
Grand Necrolord Antioch yells, faster, dogs. We mustn't relent in our assault against the interlopers. Alldayerrydaybabyf Windrunner says, Galakrond was consumed by a never-ending hunger. And that same hunger was used to empower the Dark Heart.
Was used to empower the Dark Heart.
Grand Necrolord Antioch yells, the Light King demands more Frost WYRMS be sent to Angratha. Meet his demands or face my wrath.
The
Alldayerrydaybabyf
Rift
Windrunner
Walkers
says,
reported
the Rift Walkers reported
fluctuations
fluctuations in void energy, followed by a period of calm. You receive loot, abandoned great sword. You loot 55 silver, 19 copper.
Now, Twitter internet detectives have taken it upon themselves to figure
Alldayerrydaybabyf
out more
Windrunner
about
says,
this guy.
the Dark Heart reabsorbing magical power, and converting it to shadow.
Converting it to shadow.
There's a lot of different reports right now, if you want to call them that, but they're all kind of pointing towards this guy, the OctoPoxYT on Twitter, is shown in 2 images. One of them is from this man on the registry named Charles Jefferson. Big shout out to Thomas Jefferson, no relation, I assume. We do respect our founding fathers and patriots on this channel, so do not slander my good boy Jefferson's name, Thomas, not the other guy. Him. You don't even need to slander him to call him out. Needless to say, just leave Thomas Jefferson alone is all I'm saying. And here he shows an image of the guy in the video where they do look very similar. The dude definitely looks very similar. I'm treading on thin ice here because I have to be 100% certain, but it's kind of strange, chat, okay? Kind of a weird champ, as Pokimane would say, not gonna lie. Kind of weird, kind of a weird look, so to speak. By the way, it's funny that they put this guy on the registry at a risk level. They put him at moderate risk, like as if there's like a tier list of these kind of people. Now this guy is bad, okay? This guy's bad, but this other guy, he's really bad. But then we have this guy, okay? The guy that's apparently in a Mr. Beast video. You see, he's moderate. He's a moderate risk. He plays chess really well. He likes to play chess with children while they play checkers. I don't know who else does that, but he is really good at chess, let it be known. So he's only a moderate risk. Now this guy, Ebony Maw on Twitter, has been tweeting about these allegations a lot. He says a lot of people on the Bird app saying they feel no sympathy for Jake Weddle, that he signed up for this and got paid. I agree that the most important part is not the Jake Weddle part, but you can at least argue at least some of the Jake stuff was irresponsible and unethical, so much so that they didn't post the final product. I know Beast fans won't care about that anyway, but I think it goes toward the picture painted that Mr. Beast often doesn't care about the safety of his contestants. And you know, I'm curious how this is going to impact Mr. Beast's career. Like, if someone can definitively prove that he knew about this guy, this predator being on his team and didn't care, that would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. Like, that would be career ending. I think, you know, I'm gonna tread on thin ice here again. I'm gonna tread on thin ice and say it seems unlikely that Jimmy didn't know, and even at that point, it seems like even if he didn't know somehow, it seems like crazy irresponsible and crazy negligent to not know that this guy's working there. But at the same time, it seems so stupid for James Donald, Satan Beast himself from the fires of hell, to do something like this, right? It seems so stupid. Like, if you're thinking he's like a sociopathic evil person, okay, you can think that, okay, whatever. But this is like pure stupidity. Like, to think that this would never get out and do it anyway, like that would mean that Mr. Beast has Down syndrome, in my opinion. That would mean he has Down syndrome, and you can't even trust him to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Never mind run an operation this big and not somehow hire a predator on his team. Like, it seems insane for him to know, because obviously it would come out at some point, right? And it would be a huge brand risk, even if he didn't care about who this guy was or what he did. It's such a huge brand risk to have that guy doing what he did and have him in a video that gets 100 million views. Like, so it just seems absolutely astronomical to believe that he knew. But hey, you know what? These allegations are changing every day. At this point, I don't want to speak too soon on anything, because you never really know which way the wind will blow with the Mr. Beast situation right now. So we're gonna have to wait and see if he definitively 1000% knew. But at the very least, this is like gross negligence that needs to be called out. At the very least. Now, this guy Delaware, some people have been doing some digging into him to figure out who he is. And here we have an old tweet from a familiar face who's been calling out Jimmy a lot, named Jake the Viking, where someone asked why people call this person in the videos Delaware. Who is Delaware? Who's this Delaware guy? What's going on in Delaware? Chat. What's going on in Delaware? Seriously, what's with the Delaware situation? And Jake on Twitter said they're calling his brother-in-law or manager Delaware. So this man was apparently Jake's brother-in-law. How did he not know? Like, I'm sorry. How did you not know, Jake the Viking? This guy is your brother-in-law. He married your sister. He's the husband of your sister. Like, it seems pretty insane to me you wouldn't find out at some point. And people also look through some old tweets from Jake where he even talked about this happening, and he says, what would the actions of my brother-in-law with an instance that happened before I even knew him have to do with me? Take some time to think of a good response. So people dug deeper. They dug a little deeper into this. They're in the coal mines figuring it out, okay? In Siberia, they're like, what did Jake the Viking know? And this was months ago. This was before this allegation even happened publicly with Mr. Beast. This is when people were just calling out Jake for his brother-in-law. Why did Jake address someone named Chris in this thread where he's talking about his brother-in-law? Well, the reason why is because before Chris Tyson was exposed for what Chris did, Chris had talked about this person publicly to call out Jake the Viking after Jake the Viking called out Chris Tyson. I'm losing my mind. I'm literally losing my mind. I'm a crazy person. I have schizophrenia. Never ask Jake how he protected his kid or his family from his brother-in-law, Chris Tyson says. Someone responds here saying, low blow, thought we weren't talking about kids. And then this response here from Chris is, who you keep in your company says a lot about you, with an attached screenshot of the offense this person committed. And by company, I'm assuming that Chris means like the company as in like the people you keep around you, not the Mr. Beast company, I'm assuming, because at this point Mr. Beast and Chris were on good terms and Chris was still a part of the company, so I don't think Chris would be like whistleblowing on Mr. Beast's company at this point in time. So all of this is just to say that Chris is calling out Jake the Viking for having this person in his presence, not calling out Mr. Beast's company, at least at this point in time. And you see the charge here once again, and that charge is the exact same charge from the previous photo from the dog pack video, which shows that they're clearly talking about the same person here, unless Jake's brother-in-law is an offender who people call Delaware, and then the guy in the Mr. Beast videos is also someone people call Delaware, and also is a sex offender according to Dogpack 404. Like, there's a lot of coincidences happening here. The stars are really aligning for me. Someone must have known. I'm sorry. Someone in this entire situation had to have known. If Chris Tyson knew, someone else had to have known at some point, I assume. Like, did Jimmy know? Did Jake the Viking know? Did other people on the team know? Someone had to know, guys. There's something going on, okay? All I'm saying is, how the f did no one know? Now, the video from Dogpack ends with him talking about another phone call that he had with some anonymous ex-employee of the Beast Industrial Complex Satanic Forces.
Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the Mr. Beast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually like sparked this person to start recording.
Alldayerrydaybabyf says, well,
We're on the right
we're on
track.
the right track.
We now know why the Rift Walker didn't report back. She's turned against us and serves only the Void now. Though I wouldn't be surprised if the Harbinger had a hand in this. Dark Dissension.
What we must.
What are these
for
Void
those
spawn
we
doing here?
love.
Could it be the Harbinger's doing? Some power of the Dark Heart? Well, I do not mean to stand idly by. We must confront the Rift Walker. I don't think she will see reason now, but perhaps she can tell us something. Confront the missing Rift Walker.
Farewell. So
Dark Dissension.
you finally arrived.
The Harbinger says, so you
My
finally arrived.
honored
My honored guests. Alria
That
Windrana
voice.
says, that voice. Rift Walker Lara says, the Harbinger shall usher in a new age for the Void Elves.
For the Void Elves.
Elvira Windrunner says, the shadows have taken her.
Defend
yourself. The Harbinger says, you seek my dark heart. Very well. Come take it.
Very well.
You loot 1 gold, 48 silver, 82 copper.
It's my charge to teach the Rendorii to withstand the Void's whispers. If only I had gotten to the Riftwalker before the Harbinger did. Nilra. Her name was Nilra, wasn't it?
Keep
Legacy
your
of the Void.
gaze fixed
Make no
on
mistake,
your target.
skycat.live. I know this is a trap. But if there's any chance this leads us to the Harbinger, we must take that risk. Be at the ready. We venture forth. Travel to the Triad's Conservatory in Eridoth.
Aim
Quest
true.
accepted. Legacy of the Void. Received 56 gold, 18 silver.
Elvira
This
Windrunner
is
says, this is Eridoth.
Eridoth. I never thought I would return here. Not after the Legion was finally defeated. Not after. Why would the Harbinger bring us here?
The
path taken.
shadows can be
These apparitions
an
before
ally,
us. I believe
if
they are
controlled.
memories. My memories. Is this the Harbinger's doing? Or mine? We need to explore. Discover why we were led here. Witness Allaria's memories in Eridoth. Legacy of the Void completed. Received 2 gold, 80 silver, 90 copper.
Keep
Quest
your
accepted.
Why
The path
show
taken.
me these memories?
Elvira
What is the
Windrunner says,
Harbinger's
why show me
plan?
these memories? What is the Harbinger's plan? Eradication says, I will have your souls as baubles around my neck.
Some of these mobs don't even give gold anymore. And it's sort of like, that sort of breaks the covenant. Why should I bother with all this stupid shit then?
Elvira
This is
Windrunner
the
says,
last
this is the last time I saw my son as a boy. My Arata. I was so thankful
My
for that day.
Arator. I was so thankful for that day.
Elvira
Zira
Windrunner
helped me
says,
to reach
Exira
out to
helped me
him.
to reach out to him.
Yet
Yet the light's power wasn't enough to defeat the Legion. Amani Cavalry says, Silver Moon must fall. This land belongs to the Amani.
Oh, my MSBT is working. I forgot all about that. MSBT. So I want to go turn on, MSBT. Oh, options couldn't load. MST options to disable. Oh, it couldn't load. So then Never mind. MSBT is having problem. Oh, options. I see no mixed scrolling about MSBT options. Know that only loadable on demand.
Type /help for a listing of a few commands.
Okay, so Reed is Mr. Beast's former manager who's in the last video telling Jimmy, you know, hey, don't promote gambling to children.
Fist of Doomhammer
so, you know,
says, we will burn
Reed's
your palace to the
taken,
ground.
2 W's this month, you know,
Fist of
don't
Doomhammer
promote
says,
gambling
my
to children
MSBT
and,
is working.
Don't have offenders on payroll. Also, yeah, just from where I'm sitting, it seems extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know, but, you know, I know that I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with, so I'll just say preemptively, like, you know, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks, you're not, everyone at your company knows, but somehow you don't know. I think that needs more of an explanation than just saying, I didn't know. Well, how didn't you know? How did this person get into the company?
Rejecting the role of Ranger General was not an easy choice.
Content for children,
me or my family.
Around children. So yeah, Jimmy, I think we need an explanation from you, or you know,
your
lawyers
yet leaving them
and
behind.
PR people and
I failed to.
representatives
We're
and
finding the Harbinger and leaving
spokespersons
this place. Valeria Windrunner.
On how
Suddenly,
you could
this
have not
NB1 traveler.
known that there
Long
was
I stood.
an
Alldayerrydaybabyf
offender,
says,
at
this is a
high
hunt.
level in your
And our
company.
prey awaits with
I mean, this
hungry
guy
jaws.
Dawson is like,
Quest
he's like the
accepted.
Riddler
NB1
or
traveler.
something to
Long I
Mr.
stood.
Beast. He's just like, he's got all the cards in his hand right now. He's calling him out. It's crazy how much information this guy is digging up. But I think he raises some very good questions here as far as who knew, who should have known, and how much can you hold Mr. Beast responsible. I mean, when 2 people who had apparently had access to this company at one point are both saying the same thing about Jimmy knowing what was going on with this guy, it looks really bad. Now, they could be lying. They could be misinformed. I haven't seen, you know, concrete proof, which would be hard to get anyway, but I haven't seen concrete proof of Jimmy knowing about this person. But, like, 2 people independently saying this, I don't know. It's not a good look.
Memory of Charlie
They're
says, I would rather have died than have you fall to evil.
Colloquially, they're corroborating. Obviously, you know, Beast, Satan, Hell Industries
Memory of
employs
says,
hundreds of people,
and
so
yet my fate
maybe
has
he
not
didn't
changed.
know somehow. Maybe he's not the guy in charge of background checks. Maybe 5 years
The
ago they
Harbinger
weren't
says,
doing background checks.
your
It was
greatest
more
regret.
amateur operation.
Let's bring it
but
to life,
still,
shall we?
someone in the chain messed up in a serious way and either knew or
The memory
was
of Charlie on
completely
screams in agony.
and should have figured it out at some point. Okay, and I think that at this point, Jimmy is going to need to respond to
Alldayerrydaybabyf
these allegations
says,
as
no,
soon as he possibly
this
can,
isn't what
because
happened.
this is just, I mean, if he knew, if
Memory
he
of Charlie
1,000%
on
knew
says,
and someone
you
gets
have
proof of
forsworn the
that,
light,
I
Alldayar.
think it's actually
And
over.
so you are my enemy.
I'm going to hate Mr. Beast forever. I think the entire YouTube community will hate him
Alldayerrydaybabyf
too, and
says, you
justifiably
must follow
so.
him.
If you knowingly hire a child enjoyer, we'll put it that way, okay, then you are cooked. Like, that is the end of the game. It's unjustifiable. There's no excuse. Like, I don't care how much money that guy made you. If he's a child enjoyer enthusiast, like, you can't hire that guy. You can't hire that guy.
No.
And even if he didn't know, as Dogpack said, there is some level of negligence here that needs to be called out, and a lot of things need to change at Beast Industries, Satan, Hell Incorporated, Fires in Hell, Hades, controlling the strings here. Truly, Mr. Beast is the Antichrist, let it be known. Or maybe he's not, but in the back of my mind, he is in my dreams. He's visited me many times. Chris Tyson has also visited me at 3 a.m.
The Harbinger
but I
dares
can't
to use
talk
my
about
people,
that legally
my
yet
memories,
in
my
Minecraft.
love against me.
I mean, it's not like
Then
this
she will know what
Delaware
it
dude
means
is
to be
some
my enemy.
random guy, some random video
Defend
editor.
Telegraph
He
Rift.
is in a video with
Not the Rendery.
100
Not
million
Telegraph
views
Rift.
that you can see on
Not
YouTube
today.
right now.
Valeria tightens her grip on her bow. These ethereal forces are the same we encountered in Uldor. The Harbinger must command them. Quest accepted. Defend Telegraph's Rift. Receive 2 gold, 80 silver, 90 copper.
Alldayerrydaybabyf Windrunner says, these invaders will find no mercy in my domain.
Few commands. Type /help for a listing of a few commands.
Now let's see the add-on and oh wow, my name changed. I think that's kind of nuts.
Mogub says, you promised. You promised, you promised, you promised. Mogub says, you promised. You promised, you promised, you promised. Mogub says, you promised. You promised, you promised, you promised.
Warp drive active.
Wolf and Imperial Navy. I think they killed my. I think they probably killed my cargo container. Fucking annoying.
Docking permission requested.
Type /help for a listing of a few commands. Type /help for a listing of a few commands.
That's annoying.
Mogub says, you promised. You promised, you promised, you promised. Morgov says, you promised. You promised, you promised, you promised.
I don't think I want this add-on. It's unfortunate, but it's not serving me the way I want.
Morgov says, you promised. You promised, you promised, you promised.
At this very moment, so I think something's got to give here. I expect that this video is going to go down off of YouTube pretty soon, unless somehow Dawson and his employee have it all wrong. In which case, their careers are actually over, and they're never going to get work again. So, you know, prayers for Dogpack that he 1000% has this right, because it looks like he does from my perspective. It looks like he does from my perspective. And holy, I'm like basically speechless. Now, apparently, Rolling Stone reached out to Chris Tyson for an interview on the allegations made against them. I believe this is in regards to partially the allegations from Muskina, an allegation of SA. Now, that particular allegation against Chris, I thought was pretty dumb. The other ones are, I mean, Chris is a picked up person. I think I've said the P word too many times in this video, but Chris is a horrible person. But I digress. Chris Tyson was reached out to by Rolling Stone, and according to Rolling Stone, there's this quote from their article which reads, "Rolling Stone spoke with Wayman and Jess as well as a half dozen other individuals to corroborate their stories, which seem to show Tyson using her position of power at Mr. Beast for free labor, friendship, and sexual encounters. Rolling Stone contacted Tyson on Instagram, X, email, and phone. Tyson and the reporter spoke for about 2 minutes over the phone before she said she would call him back later. The reporter's number was then blocked, and she did not reply to an email with a detailed list of questions and allegations. So it seems like Chris is avoiding comment at this point. And the Drama Alert Twitter account also received what they say is a confirmed leaked email from the Mr. Beast company where they update employees on the status of their operation. Here is what they said. I wanted to update all of you on the recent concerns that have been raised online and in the press. As I mentioned in my tweet a couple of weeks ago, we've hired Quinn Emanuel, a top-tier law firm, to do a full investigation of the Ava Tyson allegations. We also asked them to expand the scope to include a full assessment of our internal culture and to investigate allegations allegations of inappropriate behavior by people in the company. While the process is not complete, I have enough preliminary information at this point that I'm announcing several changes today. As your leader, I take responsibility, and I'm committed to continue to improve and evolve my leadership style. While I've been mostly focused on creating content, launching feastables, building our community, and leading our philanthropic efforts, I recognize that I also need to work to create a culture that makes all of our employees feel safe and allow them to do their best work. Therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, we'll be hiring a new Chief Human Resources Officer, Chief Financial Officer, and General Counsel, along with other roles to add capacity and competencies to foster a better internal culture as we continue to grow. I can't imagine working at Beast Industries right now. It must be absolutely crazy. I mean, you don't know if the guy next to you is texting Dogpack about how they're going to be in the next Mr. Beast video. You just don't know what's going on here. And then the guy next to you, who knows what they know about Chris Tyson? Like, there's all this stuff going on here. I can't imagine what the office culture is like right now. It must be like, hey man, so we're gonna get to work on that next challenge video, right? Yeah, did you hear about that like Dogpack 404 video? Yeah, man, I heard about that, you know, it was pretty crazy. Oh shit, Jimmy's coming. Shh. Hey guys, are you ready for the new challenge video? To start off, we'll be instituting hiring a new Chief Human Resources Officer. We'll be bringing in a seasoned leader to help us build a more inclusive environment and a world-class HR team. We'll be doing mandatory training. We're implementing mandatory training sessions on safety, sexual harassment, LGBTQ, diversity, sensitivity training, and workplace conduct for all employees. 3. Listening sessions. Jeff will be holding listening sessions across the company to hear directly from employees about their experiences and ideas for improvement. 4. Anonymous reporting. We are establishing an anonymous reporting mechanism to ensure everyone feels safe coming forward with concerns. 5. External review. We have engaged an independent firm to conduct a thorough review of our policies and practices and implement changes. I want to let you know I am optimistic about the company's future, and I appreciate all your contributions. We are seeing many examples of your hard work as we recently became the first channel to surpass 300 million YouTube subscribers. Our last 2 main channel videos were our fastest growing in the history of the company, and our philanthropic work continues to positively impact our community and our planet. In summary, I'm fully committed to seeing the investigative process through and acting on the recommendations. We'll circle back and share our learnings and any necessary changes. Thank you for your continued teamwork and dedication to our mission and our community. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or Jeff directly. And this letter was written by Jimmy Beast, Satan himself. The Antichrist is here. He might be. You don't know. You can't disprove the Antichrist allegations, can you? I can't disprove that. I don't know. I mean, innocent until proven guilty, but like, the microchips thing is kind of concerning. I'm trolling.
I'll not overstay my welcome.
So it seems like they were trying to handle things internally a lot, meanwhile sending Dawson a cease and desist to try and get him to stop talking about all of this. Yeah, that didn't really work, did it? He just posted a new video that, you know, is getting millions of views. And the latest update is that Dawson has asked people not to harass the offender he showed in the video because he has a family, this offender. He doesn't want the family to get shit. Unfortunately, you know, I respect his good intentions there, but I think the cat is out of the bag on that one. The dude has already been doxxed on my Twitter timeline like 7,000 times, so I think that's going to happen regardless. You know, for those who have been watching me throughout all of this, you know I'm pretty skeptical about allegations in general, and both for the Chris Tyson stuff and for the claims about Mr. Beast in the beginning, I was very skeptical, and I'm always willing to wait for both sides. I always play devil's advocate, no pun intended, because Mr. Beast is the devil, but I think at this point Jimmy is gonna have to respond to everything being claimed here, because this stuff is gonna hit every mainstream publication, every TV station is gonna be talking about it, and if he cannot dispel this particular thing, this particular claim that he hired this person and knew it, I think that companies are gonna start pulling out. He's gonna lose sponsorships, and the Mr. Beast empire is like toast, just like that. Everything he built for 10 years on YouTube is gonna be gone if he can't dispel this. Meanwhile, with the illegal gambling accusation, he could have the government to deal with if that's true. And I was just thinking things would be dying down for the Mr. Beast story here, and it just gets worse and worse. I feel like every day I'm getting a new update, like, oh, he did that. What's going to be next? Is he launching a nuclear warhead at my house? He probably should. I would enjoy that. And the thing is, Mr. Beast has to respond now. Continuing to upload as usual is just not going to cut it anymore. If he goes without responding to this for long enough, companies are going to pull out. People are going to call for sponsorships. Journalists are going to reach out and call for them to pull out and ask about it, and there's just no way Mr. Beast doesn't respond. He has to. Continuing to upload, not going to do it anymore. You know what might do it, though? Mr. Beast, I know you're a huge fan of me, okay? I know you're watching this video right now. There's one word you need to say on YouTube right now, Jimmy, and it will save you from everything. I think you know the word. You have to say it. Just hop on a bridge on PUBG real quick, let it rip, and all will be forgiven. You can save the world and your honor. You can also save hell along the way, because I know that's the army you fight for. Thank you guys for watching my video. Leave a like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, drop a comment down below. I've been streaming about the Mr. Beast stuff a lot, so check out the Tom Dark Live channel for updates there, or subscribe here for live streams, and I will catch you all in my next video, where the nuclear warhead that is pointed at my house finally detonates in 3, 2, 1.
How do you go from this?
The fact is, suing CoffeeZilla is not going to help CryptoZoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me.
To headlines like this. How do you go from a guy thanking a guy for exposing him to then suing him for defamation?
Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him.
That's something only YouTubers could do. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my whole life. How is that possible? Why are we here? What is going on right now? Why is this happening? I don't like this. This is stupid. There's also a building being built literally right outside my garage door, so it's like, it's just like one of those things. We're about 2 years on now from the original CryptoZoo situation.
How much did you guys make from CryptoZoo?
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
I lost around $15,000 US dollars.
I lost $25,000.
Quite frankly, I didn't think it could get any worse, and Logan Paul has found a way to make it worse for himself. And
thank you, Tom Dark, for the excellent content for my stream. I've liked and sub to your channel.
He also knows about another portable document format who's working at Mr. Beast while actually on the reg.
How do you go from this?
The fact is, suing CoffeeZilla is not going to help CryptoZoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me.
To headlines like this. How do you go from a guy thanking a guy for exposing him to then suing him for defamation?
Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him.
That's something only YouTubers could do. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my whole life. How is that possible? Why are we here? What is going on right now? Why is this happening? I don't like this. This is stupid. There's also a building being built literally right outside my garage door, so it's like, it's just like one of those things. We're about 2 years on now from the original CryptoZoo situation.
How much did you guys make from CryptoZoo?
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
I lost around $15,000 US dollars.
I lost $25,000.
Quite frankly, I didn't think it could get any worse, and Logan Paul has found a way to make it worse for himself and everyone else. Like, I don't understand why anybody who's on the internet who has products and stuff, they shouldn't listen to like corporate chads about, yeah, just sue him. Just sue him, it'll go away.
He's hired 5 lawyers to sue me, which he hopes will stop me from exposing him again.
Earnestly apologizing is better than actually following through. For example, paying back all the victims of CryptoZoo. Not sure if he's done that yet. Probably hasn't. Haven't seen anything about it. The biggest news has been him suing CoffeeZilla now, so.
For the immense harm that he has caused to Paul's reputation through the intentional and reckless dissemination of defamatory falsehoods, well, then you have to prove that they're fake, right?
The dude loves proving us wrong. That is Logan Paul, aka the dad from The Incredibles. Once again, 2 years, a year and a half ago, however long it was, CoffeeZilla uploaded his 3-part series about CryptoZoo, which is an NFT game that was founded by Logan Paul, and the project was infiltrated by 2 legitimate class acts. Eddie Ibanez, who lied about his entire career, and Jake Greenbaum, the Crypto King.
I'm actually very bullish on the market in the short term.
Anybody who calls themselves the Crypto King is probably a piece of trash.
Crypto fans, get ready to make America great again.
Radiant
With
Warnings.
MVP MAGA
So she goes by Harbinger now.
supporting the
Does
MAGA
she?
movement and Donald
Outfitting.
Trump's presidential campaign.
These two fellas were the true instruments in the failing of CryptoZoo. Logan Paul had his name attached to it and marketed it, and it was his fans, his...
So it is Xalatath who has claimed the Dark Heart. I understand now why she calls herself the Harbinger.
I've had enough riddles for one day.
The radiant visions you spoke of are the very same my people had, before our world was consumed by the Void Lord Dimensius.
What? You don't think... Could Xalatath be seeking that same fate for Azeroth?
I fear that is precisely what she intends. You must find a way to stop her.
Me? Look, she knew exactly how to hurt me. I don't think I'm the one to...
Yes, she knew your greatest fear is endangering your family. But you must let go of that fear. Embrace who you truly are.
I know who I am.
Do you? You are unbalanced. You must master your unique nature, Aldaria. If you cannot, then Azeroth is already doomed.
Ulria Windrunner says, it's best if I leave. I'm a danger to you all, so long as Zalatatha's gaze is cast upon me. Ulria Windrunner says, tell Kaga what we learned. I will return to Dalaran in time.
Alright, well, it appears that I'm going to be harassed, so I'll just do single runs and dump. Because I know I'm going to be able to get the ore back, but that's okay. I'm still making money, and it adds up. It adds up better than ice, even. If I can get it out.
Audience that fell for it.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project that I believe is going to change the game.
It makes sense that he would take the responsibility and take accountability for these two scammers, right? For ingratiating his business and himself with them. I don't even know if ingratiating is a word. On top of all that, it looks real bad. The game's marketing was to have fun and also earn money.
It's a game. It's a game. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
And then it led to a bunch of people losing money, a lot of money, millions of dollars. And then Logan first threatened to sue CoffeeZilla for the trilogy that originally came out, and you know, it was met with great backlash. He apologized, changed his tune.
CoffeeZilla is not,
and she's already attacked
I called
Telegrass
him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego flair, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone with this project. I never made any money, never sold any tokens, and I only had the best intentions going in. But the fact is, the suing CoffeeZilla is not going to help CryptoZoo holders.
And thank CoffeeZilla for his investigation, because real, actual, legitimate journalism does exist on YouTube. I don't do it, and most other YouTubers don't do it, but people like CoffeeZilla do it, okay? And it's really important to, like, help them whenever they're, you know, fighting a giant.
CoffeeZilla, you're slimy as he is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, more like an internet criminal.
Oops, wrong video. That was the first response. He actually apologized in another response.
It's like a little gnat. It's like a little annoying gnat. It bothers me. The defamation lawsuit, that is happening because this is wrong. This is wrong.
Hold on, wait a second. That's not it either. Turns out it's actually on his secondary channel. That's why I couldn't find it.
So Logan cannot make up his mind on what to do with Coffee. And this is probably because originally he tried to be sympathetic to Coffee and the criticisms raised, but Coffee didn't take his apology at face value and then kept following through.
There's still major problems here. Like, for example, many of the victims just have been ignored in this response. A lot of accusations have gone unanswered, and worse, Logan still seems to be playing the victim a lot. So in this video, I'm gonna do my best to give Logan credit where credit is.
You sold your junk for 44 gold, 40 silver, 53 copper.
Where I think this apology fell
Abandoned
flat.
greatsword has been added to your appearance
made
collection.
Logan look like a fool. You know, Logan has a lot of money. He could just pay everyone off. He could have just paid all the victims back immediately, whatever they were owed. It'd be difficult to determine that, but instead he sent this letter saying you can't sue me, which is pretty standard practice for like a big time business. But at the same time, it's like, man, why not just be the good guy? Why not just be the good guy and pay the people off? It wouldn't have been that hard, I feel like. I would have considered that to be a massive W, to just pay everybody off without all this shit, but anyways. Coffee made sure Logan stayed accountable with his 3-step plan that Logan outlined in his own video.
For one, Logan apologized.
218 gold, 22 silver, 30 copper.
I apologized. My initial response
Drake Watcher's beacon has been added to your appearance collection.
Was that of fire, an ego.
Not only that, Logan
Cousin Slowhand says, I was going to have a party and invite Mystic Verdict, but you dismissed him.
Bought his NFTs.
I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million.
In addition to that, he also promises to finish CryptoZoo, which was left abandoned.
And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as
44 gold, 33 silver, 93 copper.
And Coffee continued to be critical of Logan when the plan he'd outlined still wasn't executed on for a very long time.
Logan Paul has not paid back his victims. He hasn't talked about it since he first announced he was going to pay them back. And what's worst of all, he doesn't seem to have a plan in place to refund anyone.
And when a refund was finally offered, it was incredibly underwhelming, and even some considered it to be manipulating to those that did accept it.
Logan Paul is refunding people he scammed if they promise to stop suing him for the vastly larger amount
gold,
he
22
may
silver,
owe them.
49
And
copper.
honestly, I'm conflicted. Because
Warcraft Rumble Toy. Murloc has been added to your toy
money
box.
Is always great. And I'm proud that our investigation led to some real-world consequences. But I can't pretend that things are fixed or fine for people who entrusted me with their story when that's just not true.
We've already covered this. It's bad news, pretty much. We're gonna need some background music on this video to cover up the incessant beeping that's just outside that garage door.
Ay, su pinche madre, sacaron un granazo. Ay, güey, ¿dónde estoy o qué? What is happening?
Now on to the lawsuit that was filed by Mr. Paul. It was filed on June 27th, 2024 at 11:28 p.m. It's kind of a funny story as to how it was filed.
107 gold, 82 silver, 3
In
copper.
this lawsuit, Logan claims that he is suing CoffeeZilla because of defamation and that he wants to hold Coffee accountable for his defamatory actions.
This lawsuit says Logan Paul wants to hold me accountable for my actions. But what actions are those? Holding him accountable?
The entire lawsuit stems from when Coffee made a few videos on Logan Paul calling him out for his CryptoZoo game, where Logan claimed players could make money.
It's a game. It's a game. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
But it has since been considered a scam by everyone who exists because the game took millions of dollars from fans and then they lost it all. And all the promises systemically from A to B were all false and didn't work, and it was shit, and it sucked, and it was terrible, and what the f are we even making this why is this a thing? At the beginning of the lawsuit, Logan's lawyers claimed that Coffee is an internet detective with no real
Docking
journalistic
permission
training,
requested.
and that he used his CryptoZoo series to expose Logan Paul and profit off of
Docking
Paul to
permission
just
requested.
gain money and
Docking
viewership.
request
Additionally,
accepted.
they claim that Coffee knew that the videos he was putting out contained a malicious false narrative that had purposefully left out statements and other things to make Logan specifically look like a bad person. This seems nonsensical so far. The claims, in my opinion, are hilarious. To discredit someone with respected journalistic integrity online by just saying he has no official journalistic training is an absolute stretch. Let's look at CoffeeZilla's top viewed videos, and let's look at just the New York Times today and see which one has more pull and impact in journalistic integrity. Just kidding, that is in the New York Times today, but that's just some funny articles that I decided to put in this video to prove a point further because I like Coffee and I have no journalistic integrity myself. It was meant to be a joke. It was meant to be a joke. It's sarcastic. Most of the things that I say are just not true. Furthermore, they also allege that Coffee was making these videos against Logan Paul for the sole purpose of gaining viewership, and that's it. That's the only reason, which I think we all know that that's not true. I mean, that doesn't seem true at all. Logan Paul is quite literally scam adjacent and has been ever since crypto became a thing or Pokemon cards became relevant again back during the height of COVID.
And by the time of my reporting in question, Logan Paul was already accused of participating in multiple crypto pump and dump schemes. That article does not reference my work. So Logan had already had a reputation as a scammer before my investigation, at least if you believe their allegations.
I would say objectively Coffee is justified in investigating this type of stuff and saying the things that he said against Logan Paul. It should be Logan Paul's responsibility and accountability to take the things that have been claimed and then just systemically disprove them, but instead he's suing him now. So it's like, why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? That makes zero sense. Now you look guilty because you're just suing this guy because you can't control him and he's saying things that are true that everyone else agrees with. It's also funny in the lawsuit they portray Logan as some kind of brand-friendly social media icon and they describe him as a globally recognized entertainer, athlete, and entrepreneur as if that somehow justifies the suicide forest, the crypto zoo, the liquid marketplace. I mean, there's so much shit that's just he deserves to be shit on for, rightfully so, I would say. And I would like to believe that he seemed rational at some points. He would agree with that
teleportation
stuff. Like I don't know who, like this whole lawyer thing and this lawsuit is just so much cognitive dissonance. I don't get it. And Logan does have Prime, which is difficult to not respect. That is a true phenomena. And I've made a video before defending Prime with the PFAS thing. Remember that thing that went viral on TikTok? And the guy was like, oh, it's got plastic in it and stuff. And it's like, no, actually, it doesn't have plastic in it. It's got the same amount of plastic that pretty much all water has in it. And my balls are full of plastic. The lawsuit then goes on to say that Logan came up with the idea for CryptoZoo because of the blossoming newfangled blockchain technology and that it was going to be a success, but things went wrong when the team he hired to develop the game lied to him about their credentials and about paying the development team and all that shit happened. Obviously, we know the situation. It's hard to believe, in my opinion, that Logan Paul was clueless to the work of his constituents. Some basic due diligence could have gone a long way, like I'm talking real basic. And that's coming from me, okay? Guys, I got scammed. But my shit was from a nobody, all right? This is like famous crypto people you could have just asked for references with. I got references. I got a background check. And that shit passed. But I would like to take this opportunity to announce a new product, a new venture, if you will. Guys, I'm starting these things called timeshares. Basically, I'm buying a house on the beach, and all of you can invest in that house with me. All right, guys?
And that is why owning a piece of an Aspen condo is not only possible, it's downright smart.
I'm having, who's a famous scammer? Jordan Belfort. He's overseeing the whole operation.
I want you to understand, we don't
Jordan Belfort
do anything illegal whatsoever.
Yay! We'll all be rich together! Just kidding, but go to sour.gg and buy Little Guys. They're these gummies that we have that are really cool. They're awesome, and they're actually in stock, I think, permanently now. We should be able to have some every single day. So go buy some, and if you buy enough, we're gonna try to get them into Target or Walmart or HEB or something.
HEB these nuts.
But probably not because we suck and we're failures. But go buy some. There's a new flavor coming this Friday at 3 Central Standard Time. Every single week, 52 weeks, 52 flavors. Sometimes, unless something goes horribly wrong, which it Tends to. So, also join the Gump Club to see uncensored videos, etc., and support the channel. And when you join the Gump Club, you get free shipping on Sour Boys products with an order over 25 bucks. Nobody can compute that. That's crazy. And also, we lose money on it. So, it's kind of unfortunate, but oh well. At this point in time, it seems fairly clear that there's a lot of just negligence from Logan's perspective that he could easily take responsibility for, or he could just not and then sue people for saying that is the case. I don't really know. What do you guys think down below? Comment down below your honest thoughts and opinions on this this video. So anyways, Coffee responded obviously to the lawsuit. Took him a while to get his thoughts collected, I assume, because this is sort of a big deal.
Logan Paul is suing me for CryptoZoo, only a year after he thanked me for it.
But he pointed out in his video that both the people mentioned in the lawsuit haven't been at the company in a long time, meaning that in recent years, everything surrounding CryptoZoo has been the result of just Logan Paul.
But remember, Jake and Eddie have been out of the picture for years, and yet CryptoZoo hasn't been released, despite Logan constantly promising it, and of course also threatening to sue me.
We're gonna handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
So the claim that both of his business partners were to blame for the failure of the project is just entirely false, starting at the point when Coffee exposed those two other evil people for being evil, and for Logan Paul for hiring them. Now it's just up to Logan Paul, and it's still a failure. It's still a giant failure, so he's probably not that good at programming the back end. I wouldn't imagine. That blockchain is pretty complicated. The next section of the lawsuit talks about Logan's claims that Coffee defamed him. In section 7 of Nature of the Action, Paul's lawyers claim that Coffee knew the fame he could get from defaming a celebrity to the caliber of Logan Paul, and that this is proven true because the series is his most viewed on his channel. So it's like he's just doing it for viewership. That's it. He's not actually doing it because he wants crypto to not be full of scammers. It's because he's a
You receive currency.
I don't know.
Garrison
Additionally,
resources
the lawyers
70.
claim that Coffee knew that Logan's intentions were to never scam anyone, and that Coffee had personal messages confirming Paul's intentions, and that he was so frustrated by his coworkers that Logan couldn't properly handle the situation. So once again, just completely not taking any responsibility whatsoever for this. I mean, like, is there a worse way to do it? No, there's not a worse way to do it. In all honesty, I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't really know. I don't want to just like hate people for hating people. If Logan Paul turned a new leaf, I feel like I would be welcoming. I love a second chance. I think that's pretty cool. He's still doing extremely well. I mean, he's a WWE wrestler. I'm not even sure he knows that shit's fake. He's so good at it. What the Just own up to it. Don't sue people for calling you out on your obvious horse shit. So yeah, these claims are pretty much just saying Logan is overwhelmed, and they turn him into a crying, screaming baby who's overwhelmed and stop, you know, screaming and crying because he can't. That's why CryptoZoo failed. It's because too much stimulation. He's stimming. I would say the private messages that the lawyers claim were between Logan and Coffee. I think it was under the I mean, it's fairly obvious that it was under the pretense that Logan would be a good person and fully refund those people who bought into his project. But as we know, that did not happen.
Logan may be a master at convincing people he's changed, but I'm convinced it's the follow-through where things go wrong. You know, the actually changing part. There was a time where even I believed Logan was going to fully refund victims. That's why I was so nice to him and tried to help despite him threatening to sue me. But when it came time to pay up, Logan chose a minority refund and to fight the rest of the victims in court who wanted their money.
I mean, quite literally, Logan Paul made an apology video to CoffeeZilla that he put on his second channel, which is a huge L.
The fact is that suing CoffeeZilla is not going to help CryptoZoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me.
Classic. Logan Paul. Full of L's. 2 L's though. Guess what? W, guys. And guess what else? Broken clock is right twice a day. If it walks like a quack and it ducks like a...
And it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it!
Personally, I believe CoffeeZilla is correct when he said that this lawsuit was to suppress new investigations while quieting down the older ones.
So this defamation lawsuit feels frivolous even on the surface. But if you dig deeper, there's an even more compelling story, which I personally believe, where the goal is to crush new investigations while taking revenge on old ones. In this version, Logan might not even care about winning. Legal battles are expensive. And in the world of money, he's got me beat. So he can try to silence me by weaponizing the law. He can sue me for doing my job. He can sue me for asking questions, and he can sue me for asking for refund.
The section ends with Logan's lawyers explaining that Logan did in fact do right by the people who bought into his project and gave everyone a refund. Coffee proves this to be false by showing that Logan only refunded a small portion of the investors.
Remember, there are two parts to CryptoZoo, the NFTs and the Zoo tokens, and Logan chose only to refund the NFTs, which is a minority of the losses, and I had a major problem with that. I told Logan this, I've stated over and over my opinion that it is disappointing for someone as rich as Logan to not make things fully right, and instead only pay back a small part of the losses while fighting the rest of the victims in court.
And as the lawsuit continues, his lawyers are making him look infallible by essentially saying that Logan was merciful to Coffee and decided not to sue long ago despite the clear defamation, which is just nonsensical. I don't really understand all this. Like, it's such a adversarial way to approach it. I mean, come on, guys. What the f? They're painting Coffee like he's some kind of crazed, money-hungry creator. He doesn't even take ads, bro. The guy doesn't even take ads, and he does shit on pay. Like, he's got actual integrity. It's very rare for a creator to have actual integrity. I'm excited to see how far this lawsuit goes. To be honest, it seems like it's not going to go that far. To me. They claimed of Coffee that he simply could not help himself from dipping back into the well that had proven so effective in earning him viewers and attention and revenue, and that is exposing Logan Paul. So it's just like anytime anyone famous does anything wrong, you aren't allowed to investigate it because a lot of people will care. That's what that's saying, essentially. That is insane. That does not make any sense to me. And I'm pretty stupid. So, like, simple things generally make sense. From this point on, the lawsuit gets into the fine details, but this is essentially a summary of the case. And from what I can tell, Coffee seems entirely right that this lawsuit is just to try to keep him quiet. It's a SLAPP lawsuit or a SLAPP adjacent lawsuit.
SLAPP stands for Strategic Lawsuits Against Public Participation. These are lawsuits which utilize the legal system to intimidate, censor, silence, and harass critics or opponents.
It happens to people in this world who expose people for committing financial scams. Look at Rattle Pokemon. He's had, I think, a few, at least one for sure. Go follow him, by the way. I really don't know what the game plan is here. He's got to be aware that his reputation online is negative, and I assume he's trying his best to maintain a good image if he possibly can. I'm not sure.
This lawsuit is not about Logan Paul getting defamed. Instead, this is about him trying to dodge accountability, victims, and blame anyone but himself for his problems. Especially me.
I don't know if he's using the lawsuit as justification for not taking, like, is he a sociopath, psychopath? For some reason, I don't believe he is. I feel like he's just surrounded by corporate chads who have a lot of money. I mean, he's got the WWE now and Prime. So it's like the standard status quo is to just sue people whenever they, you know, that's just like what money does. You can just sue people for anything, but that's not how you got to where you were and why people even related to you in the first place. Like, that's not how that works. It doesn't work like that. It's not going to look good when you do that. It's going to end poorly. This will be unrecoverable. This is bad. This is really, really, really bad, in my opinion. Plus, his lawyers claiming numerous times that Logan was naive to the situation or that he was just overwhelmed, and therefore everything that resulted in the CryptoZoo failure was not his fault whatsoever. And I don't know, what are you saying? Are you saying he's a idiot and he has nothing to do with any of this? Then why did he apologize? And they're trying to prove the narrative that he's like a good, naive, overstimulated guy with a hint of autism by saying that he made it right by supplying refunds, but only to specific investors, and like not all the money that was lost was recouped. I mean, if you can't get everyone, why not take all the money and then just make like a charity and do some good with it and then make that super publicized? Just do that. That's way better. If you can't refund everyone and the people you are refunding, you're like, well, you also can't sue me and also Sugma Ligma. How about just like do some double good out of the bad? I mean, it's not that complicated. Overall, it's just a shit show. Coffee is able to entirely debunk this lawsuit within the first video.
His lawsuit shows comments calling Logan a scammer, possibly to suggest he's been hurt by my videos, but you have to have a reputation to lose one. And by the time of my reporting in question, Logan Paul was already accused of participating in multiple crypto pump and dump schemes.
And I'm very confident that Coffee's video will stand up fairly well in court. It was a really solid video, and it makes a lot of sense, and it covers all the logical points. And it has to have Logan a little bit nervous, if he's even involved. Maybe he's naive to this and has no idea that his lawyers are suing content creators for exposing people for scamming people. A very interesting point, speaking to why Logan couldn't successfully refund people and finish the game, is that he blamed the government. Logan blamed the government for that. Government regulations.
For years, Logan has controlled CryptoZoo, and yet the game is still not out. Logan is now blaming the government for that instead of himself. And he also blames me for losing his good reputation, but you can't lose something you never had.
He is the guy who blames everyone but himself, even the government. He blamed the government, like Obama. He's like, thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
And that's not ironic. He did that. That's in the lawsuit. It's not. It's not. But it basically is. The only person who's ruined Logan Paul's reputation is Logan Paul, not Coffee. It's been Logan Paul, and that's it. From the beginning of time until now. It's been Logan Paul's choices, the people who he surrounded himself with, and the products that he's stood by that have turned out to be scams. Not looking into something, shining a light on something doesn't make it turn into something bad. It was already bad, and that light is like a virtue, and that's like the ethical thing to do, is to expose things that are bad. Even if people didn't know, Logan didn't know fully. That's a fine counter argument, but it's like, how many times can you do that before it just seems like you are so insanely naive that you shouldn't be involved in any of this stuff, and you especially shouldn't be suing people for doing right by the people who you are stealing from. Like, huh? So yeah, Logan's super naive, and let's feel bad for him, and then Coffee's defaming him, but the timeline of the lawsuit and why and when it was filed, very interesting in my opinion. Coffee points this out in his video. This makes Logan look way worse. Coffee points out the timeline of the lawsuit and how suspicious it is.
Did you know 6 days before the lawsuit, I had featured Logan Paul in a teaser for a video? Did you know 21 hours before the lawsuit, I had texted Logan for comment? Did you know I told him he had 24 hours to respond, and Logan sued me 3 hours before the deadline? Yep, that's right. Logan's lawyers then threatened me in that lawsuit email that if I report on this new story, Logan might hold me accountable. And Logan's definition of accountability seems to mean he'll sue me, which is why I believe this lawsuit was not designed to win, but to shut me up, to threaten me, using Logan's wealth and a federal court system without anti-slap to send a message. Do not tell that story.
He pointed out that 6 days before the lawsuit, he featured Logan in a video, and 3 hours before a 24-hour deadline that Logan was completely ignoring, he filed the lawsuit. It seems like Logan is just personally fed up with Coffee and decided that he wanted to finally silence him, and he's just gonna throw as much money at this small problem as he possibly can, which is bizarre because Coffee points out how Logan has respect for him at his work, yet he still chooses to just sue him, which is like the antithesis of having respect for like ethical things and journalism and stuff like that. Like, why would you sue anybody? If you are right, if you are in the right, why do you need to sue someone? Just prove them wrong. Just prove them wrong. And then if people still hate you, it's because they're haters. Not because you can't sue haters into stopping. That's not how that works, dude. You're gonna get a lot more haters. Coffee's not a hater.
Logan's 5 lawyers tried to discredit me as a journalist. They paint me as someone who wanted money. They say I had a false and malicious narrative. But you know who doesn't believe that? You know who secretly praises me behind the scenes?
This journalist, YouTuber, crypto uncoverer guy named CoffeeZilla, who's incredible, by the way. A very thorough, good-hearted, smart guy, did a deep dive into this project that I attempted to make called Crypto Zoo.
That's right, it's Logan Paul. He's the biggest enemy of Logan Paul's defamation case. Who knew? Because defamation requires actual malice and a reckless disregard for the truth. But he just admitted on camera that I am thorough and good-hearted.
So yes, Logan has now fallen to the tactic to try and drain Coffee's bank accounts to fight this lawsuit. Logan Paul is a two-faced coward, guys, who is scared of losing his fame and fortune and will go to any lengths to secure it. Seems like he's not, well, maybe he's not scared of losing his fame and fortune, but he's definitely doesn't know how to wield it ethically or morally correctly. It seems like, I don't know. I'm not one to judge, but I tell you what, I've never done anything like this. So I look at myself before I judge others, and like, this is just so bad and dumb. Like, how do you justify this? How do you justify this? Unless you're a lawyer, the lawyer would be like, yeah, we can do that. But they also defend murderers as well. So like, I wouldn't listen to a lawyer, generally speaking, or anyone who has corporate training. So a lot about this has already been exposed, and more I'm sure is gonna come out, but the true intentions of the lawsuit are of question a bit. So the lawsuit was filed about a month ago, and we've seen coverage from channels like Legal Eagle, who actually spoke to Coffee Stevens' lawyers, revealing that there was no way to file an anti-slap motion on behalf of Steven.
You would usually in most states at this point face an anti-slap motion. That type of motion is not available in federal court in the Fifth Circuit in Texas. In this case, the federal court venue was chosen, and there seems to be no obvious reason for that except to avoid the anti-slap motion.
An anti-slap would make things very easy for Steven because it's an avenue that would allow him to just get out of it and, you know, slam dunk the lawsuit before. But there's legal ways to prevent a slap. The same exact thing happened to Rattle Pokemon, and Logan Paul's lawsuit is 100% a SLAP lawsuit, which stands for Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation. It's a fancy way of saying, hey, I don't want you to talk anymore. I want to intimidate you, and I want to prevent you from participating in public discourse.
Attention corporate America! Have you had it up to here with people speaking out against your corporation? Protesters, activists, journalists, any entitled citizen at all can criticize your corporation. The solution? Slap lawsuits, which is really just a fancy way of saying shut them up in court.
Anyone who files a slap lawsuit is a idiot, in my opinion. Anti-slap laws make it easier for someone who has been sued for exercising their First Amendment rights to get that lawsuit dismissed quickly. And these laws put the burden on the person actually suing and accelerate final decisions, but Logan Paul has filed the lawsuit where there isn't an avenue that's open to Steven and his team. There's not anti-slap laws in every single state and every single jurisdiction, which is very unfortunate. Should be federal, constitutional. So yeah, guys, this just adds to it. Logan is very disturbing. His behavior is incredibly disturbing. I don't know how naive and overstimulated he is in regard to the lawsuit stuff, but by God, if he's got any hand in this, what modicum of respect I may have had for him for, you know, doing the WWE stuff and becoming this guy and having this cool product Prime and, you know, being like a legend in a lot of different senses, 90% of that is bad. At this point, this is like takes the other 10% and just makes him look like a idiot. He's essentially trying to strip a man of his First Amendment rights, and as a pretty vocal follower of the Constitution, it's like, how do you get any worse? Firstly, you can't take criticism. You surround yourself with idiots. You pretend to be an infant and that you are naive and overstimulated, and you cannot, that's why your life is falling apart, and you continuously fail and steal money from people accidentally. And then when all those excuses fail, you take away someone's First Amendment rights. That's dumb, dude. It's the amendment, by the way, if you don't know, if you're not an American, that protects free speech and guarantees freedom of the press. It's kind of like part of the whole checks and balances thing that's supposed to make America awesome and cool, but like, you know, doesn't always, because you can also just sue people and there's ways around. It's so dumb. And by the way, we know Logan thinks of Steven as a journalist and as the press because he called Steven a journalist in that video. So
this journalist, YouTuber, crypto uncoverer guy named CoffeeZilla, who's incredible, by the way, a very thorough, good-hearted, smart guy, did a deep dive into this project that I attempted to make called Crypto Zoo.
That's right, it's Logan Paul. He's the biggest enemy of Logan Paul's defamation case. Who knew?
So yeah, at the end of the day, it looks less and less like it's about seeking justice, and it's looking like it's just trying to limit investigative reach to silence him from doing other stuff. I'm not sure. I mean, Logan says he's incredible, dude, and he's a journalist, etc. Steven is thorough, and maybe it's the fact that Steven has been investigating the rumors of potential wrongdoing at Liquid Marketplace, a company co-founded by Logan that we've talked about before. He came up with the idea of allowing people to co-own the card through his new crypto site, Liquid Market. Now, a website like this where people are wheeling and dealing percents of a piece of paper, literally trading shares of cards that are paper, you need a bang up team, a top tier team of genius scientists and people on the research team. And it just so happens when Steven started asking Logan questions via text, Steven gave him 24 hours to respond and 3 hours before the deadline, and that's when the lawsuit was filed, which claimed to be about past coverage of Steven, but also suppresses his ability to cover him in the future. So it seems like a very conveniently timed lawsuit to prevent Steven to literally limit him of his constitutional rights to prevent him from looking into a sit. That's what it seems like, conveniently. It's a trap card, really. If we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, it's just like, oh, defamation lawsuit. Let's at least ride this money train for as long as possible before this gets investigated too, because this is going to be like Crypto Zoo Part 2, 2.0. New and improved. By the way, Liquid Marketplace is actually under investigation by Canadian authorities, and it's pretty tough to get under investigation by Canadian authorities for alleged fraud. It's a topic of massive public interest, and I would love some transparency, and I call any content creator who ingratiates themselves with fraud criminals to come clean if they are not a fraud criminal themselves. And instead of suing people who are detractors, aka haters, and limiting their First Amendment rights, you just be honest and take the L, okay? Like, it's not that hard. So, Liquid Marketplace thing, probably not a good look either. I'm sure if someone did some real actual research, they'd probably get sued with a slap. I don't know, dude. It doesn't make sense to me that all this stuff keeps happening to YouTubers, and it's just, yeah, I don't care for it all that much. One of the main reasons the First Amendment is so sacred, and the reason I love it, is because it protects freedom of the press, and it recognizes the essential role that talking shit has to play in holding powerful people accountable. Just because you have more money doesn't mean you can do whatever you want to do. Doesn't mean you can use that money to manipulate people in mass and steal money from them, even though you are rich and can pay a lawyer to sue people to make them shut up when they expose you. Like, that's kind of the whole point of that whole thing, is to, like, equal protections, 14th Amendment, all that. Also, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. So yeah, from this point on, I guess we just wait and see. Logan Paul can try and argue that he has no responsibility for the things that went wrong with CryptoZoo, even though he acknowledged it already once. And a thank you to Coffee Zoo. He can say that it's been bad actors with the Liquid Marketplace, CryptoZoo, whatever. He can say that his genuine intentions were not corrupt and that they were in fact genuine all he wants. But he, once again, is the person who's providing these products to his consumer base and selling these scams that he's recognizing are not good after they've been pointed out that they're not good. And then he's like, well, it's not me doing it. So it's really weird. It's insane to me how much wrongdoing one of the most renowned creators' personalities can be associated with, and every step of the way make the wrong decision and just continue making wrong decisions even when the right decisions are proposed by the guy who's criticizing, CoffeeZilla. This dude has made it a cornerstone of his personality and reputation to say one thing and just do another thing. After the lawsuit, we learned that Logan does not care at all about repairing his image because that image is tarnished beyond belief, and everyone who likes him just has yet to hear about all this stuff, it seems like, and that's great. I mean, he's got the WWE promoting him, Mr. Beast, they're always collabing and stuff. You can go viral to a general audience quicker than your negative shit can go viral to like a really selective audience of people that actually care about, I don't know, scams and stuff. Seems like that's the case, at least. By the way, CryptoZoo isn't the only nonsensical thing he's been involved in. How about Dick, or whatever it's called? What was it called?
You receive item,
Duck,
soul catching
Dick?
sludge X6.
Dick? I forget. I can't find it. Dick? What were they called? They were like little dicks, weren't they? This guy's been everywhere. Why is this allowed? What the f? Can we get a psychologist to give a readout on Logan, please? I mean, he said he was going to see him in court.
We're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
Apologized and said, you're right, you're good-hearted, CoffeeZilla. Thank you for approaching this with a good heart and helping me expose this thing that I was, naive to. And then he's like, see you in court and defending it.
The fact is, the suing CoffeeZilla is not going to help CryptoZoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me.
Is he a psycho? I mean, let's get Shane Dawson on the phone case.
receive
I
item,
have no
Misty
idea,
Shimmery
guys. The
8.
guy's full of false promises. 2 L's usually is a W, but it doesn't seem to be the case in this one. It's like five L's. And it's become a Star of David, whatever that means. Logan's full of false promises. The things that he says are not the things that actually happens. For example, he said he paid back a bunch of people. He definitely paid back some people, but he didn't pay back anyone who had zoo tokens. And that was one of the main things that CoffeeZilla was calling out, because those were the losses, really. That was like the real crypto part of it, not the game part of it. Sure, I'll pay back everyone who lost money on these fucking dumbass NFTs, but I'll completely ignore the zoo token people. Yeah. Nice. Logan also said that he was going to remake CryptoZoo. I'm still waiting on that. And anyone who's still interested in the project could give it a go. A promise that was made quite literally years ago, still isn't fulfilled. Can't be that hard to make that whatever the fuck that is.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project. We have a massive team behind it and are probably out of pocket like $1 million.
A few hours later, I had a working game. You could hatch eggs to get animals of different rarities, breed those animals to make hybrids, burn cards to release their yield, and continue the real zoo circle of life.
I'm not exactly a game developer, but I can't imagine that Crypto Zoo is very difficult when it comes to... Is it in Unity, or like what engine is this in? It doesn't look like that fun of a game, to be honest. It can't be that hard to finish. Maybe finding people that aren't fucking scammers to work on it is the hard part. Even in his little interview that he wanted scrubbed off the internet, he brought up, by the time it was up, Crypto Zoo 2.0 would be down and out. All right, guys?
By the time this comes out, it'll be done. The game's gonna be made. You're gonna have the opportunity to get your money back if you want, if you don't want to play the game. And I'm gonna take care of the people who made me look like this was a scam perpetrated by me.
Right. Logan wants to sue me and release a finished CryptoZoo game, but he's only done one of those.
Lies after lies, more lies, straight up false promises. Everything is fake, nothing is real. He walks around flashing money. He's a rich billionaire guy. It's a $1.2 billion deal. The guy's rolling in dough, and he's just such a piece of shit, and he has no excuses to be as big of a piece of shit as he is. And Mike, come on, Mike. Quit glazing and call the man out. He's the two cardinal sins: greed and pride. Still though, I want to play CryptoZoo. Let's get the fucking game made. Why is it not being made? According to CoffeeZilla, Logan said that the US government is the one stopping him because of regulatory hurdles. To be really specific, but also general.
He says releasing CryptoZoo has too many regulatory hurdles. Maybe they should have thought of that before multi-millions of dollars of zoo tokens and eggs were sold. And now Logan would rather blame the government than take accountability.
Who cares about regulatory hurdles though when you just want a quick paycheck? If it doesn't involve a game, there's no such thing as regulatory hurdles. So yeah, the only way for Logan to win is to just throw an unlimited amount of money at Coffee until he cannot fight back anymore, until he shuts up, because that's what the only thing Logan Paul has is just a lot of money. At this point, he has no respect from anybody outside the WWE, it seems like, and people who like Prime, and he's just losing it more and more and more and more and more by the day. I love second chances, dude. I love second chances, but like it's just not gonna happen on the internet, unfortunately. So, you know, and the best way to go forward, I guess, for him is to just sue people. He's already the villain. He's just kind of accepting that role, it seems now. He's the heel, as they say in the WWE. Anyways, fellers, comment down below. Do you ever think Logan Paul will ever stop? I think it's a simple fix from my perspective. If Logan Paul did this, how would you feel? All right, if he paid back all of the victims of CryptoZoo and just kind of, made like a little charity thing, put $1 million in it, $2 million even, not even 1% of his total net worth, and then gave money to the hungry or figured out some kind of charitable venture, paid back everyone on CryptoZoo, and, made like a large statement, just explaining everything, basically, and admitting to mistakes, whatever. I don't know if that would kind of implicate him and make him go to jail or something, so maybe that's why he's not doing it. I'm not sure. But just owning up to all that stuff and sort of admitting everything and just saying, I would love to move on, and I genuinely have a lot of respect for Coffee, and his journalistic integrity and ethics are very important to me. The only thing that I care about is not just money, even though it might seem like that. And yeah, let's go get that belt, guys. What would you guys feel about that? Would you go buy a Prime? Also, he would probably say this: I promise not to scam you all with NFTs ever again. Not that I ever did, but I promise to never hire people around me ever again. I'm just an infant. I'm a baby. I'm a baby. Anyways, go fuck yourself. Go to the Gump Club, sign up, become a member, get free shipping on Sour Boys. Go to sour.gg, buy some little guys, buy the new flavors we drop every single week, guys. And yeah, I guess hold people accountable for their actions and be willing to forgive if they, deserve to be forgiven, I guess. Forgive and forget, live and turn the other cheek, stuff like that. But also, you gotta hold people accountable.
I feel like this is the very first part of the allegations where it starts to get incredibly gross, with Meredith basically saying that Alex Pereira was detailing his intentions to go to the bathroom with her.
Bruh.
People want to be looking at
Titus
Alex
says, another.
Pereira allegations. This is a UFC guy, right? Which video
I
should I be
forgot the
watching?
fuck
On
this
the
is.
Oliver. Is it or on the liver? Who is on the liver? What video? Why is this so hard to find? On the liver MMA, bro. I don't know why it's not popping up. Okay, this channel. The Alex Pereira allegations full breakdown. When Tipster up, can you educate Destiny on the lore? I don't think he would even care, to be honest. I feel like Tipster's not relevant enough for him to even give it.
Innocent
Champon
until
says a prayer
proven
for
guilty.
Asteril.
That is the way I am going to approach these allegations being thrown at Alex
Based.
Pereira because
Based motto right from the
this
get-go.
OnlyFans
I like what I'm hearing.
model, Meredith G. Brown, has accused Alex Pereira, the former middleweight champion of the UFC and the current light heavyweight champion of the UFC, of. And given the serious nature of this video, just like my Rampage Jackson one, this will not be monetized. However, let's just make it very, very clear that these are just allegations, but you might be wondering, what
So many of these YouTube clickbait videos. I'm not talking about this guy. I'm talking about the last video we just watched, but yes, dude, there's so many. It's so easy to be a commentary channel right now and blow up off of just straight up slander. And it's like, I hate these people, man.
I hate them too.
I hate them. Their careers will burn bright and fast. Nobody will give a fuck about them in not too long, but yeah, I hate them. Yeah, the Nano Lunch and After Party. Nice meeting you, buddy. Hope you're doing good.
is the entire thing surrounding these allegations? What is Meredith G. Brown saying? What is her account? Who are her alibis? What is her proof? Well, let's jump into that right now. On August 4th, 2024, Meredith...
Why did the audio immediately get so...
G. Brown posted this video on her TikTok. Yes, he's a pig.
Yes, he's a light heavyweight champion, father, and a predator that likes to girls in the ass.
The Warcraft Rumble game machine stands before you.
Big clan meet Alex Pereira. Okay.
And from the caption, you can see that she accuses Alex Pereira of... And in the description, it reads, took me a while to find the courage to come out and say this, but I've been struggling so much with my mental health, and I can barely
Brigitte
get out
says,
of bed
welcome
these
to the
days.
roasted
It's
ram.
eating me alive,
Seating
keeping
is
it
open.
inside and not talking about it because I'm scared, but I'm hoping this will help me heal and not feel so alone. I know some people won't believe me and think I'm chasing clout, quote unquote, but I just want to feel normal again. And I'm hoping
Literally Dan
maybe me
warbles on their
finding the
seafarers slide
courage
you
to
the
tell my story is the first step in that direction. If any other women have experienced this, I'm so sorry. You're not alone,
Newman
and I
only
hope
chuckles.
that this helps you find your voice again, too. And right
Elron
off the
says,
bat, this
that
is
is
a
not
very
what they mean,
serious
Nicholas.
allegation, and the only photo of proof that she shows is a photo she took with Alex Pereira when he was in New Jersey watching UFC 302. And for reference, the date at that time was June 2nd, 2024. And of course, when asked to elaborate in the comment sections by some of the viewers, she came out with 3 lengthy videos detailing her experience with Alex Pereira, allegedly. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to play every single one of those videos, put some commentary in between, and just cut it a little bit to save time.
Alex Pereira's assistant, translator, I don't know who he is to him. His name is Mel. My friend followed him on Instagram over 2 months ago. He DMs her after she follows him, asks her questions like how long she had been doing kickboxing for, how she got into it, stuff like that. He asks her if she's going to the fight in New Jersey that we went to. I don't know what number it was.
Now, immediately right off the bat, you're going to notice a lack of warrants in this video, and that is pretty much something that goes on for the entirety of those 3 videos. The only proof that she has throughout this entire thing is not just her word of mouth, but also that one photo that she has with Alex Pereira.
Yeah, I mean, part of the problem with this kind of thing is, like, you know, you don't want to shit on somebody who's a potential victim because, you know, it could have happened, and for something like this, you know, an in-person thing, it's kind of hard to have evidence for that, right? Like, it can be, but at the same time, from a public perspective, to accuse someone else of being you need a lot, right? You need a lot, and, like, you know, random TikTok commenters can say whatever they want, but when you're a YouTuber with a platform, you need to have the proper proof to say that something happened definitively. And if you don't, you open yourself up to legal liability. So, like, we're gonna have to have some proof that this went down the way it did. I really wish this girl had just, like, posted those DMs at the very least here, because that would have helped her case so much.
But she goes on to detail the fact
she deleted her Instagram. She's donezo. Well, to be clear, I'm not making a case one way or the other, but just because she deleted her Instagram doesn't mean
Come
she
check
lied.
out our new items in the trading post.
It may mean she lied.
We just got a new
or maybe
shipment.
she told the truth and got her ass off the internet. It could be either. So you just have to keep that in mind. She's not necessarily lying here, okay? But I don't know that she's telling the truth either. So as this guy said, innocent until proven guilty for Alex Pereira.
that she has DMs, she has videos, and she has photos, and yet none of those have been publicly released by her, which is a detail I want to point out.
I'm not into it like that, like she is. This was my first time ever meeting Alex or knowing who he was. I'm not a huge UFC fan. I just got into it because my friend was into it. Alex's assistant translator asks my friend if she wants to meet up with him in New Jersey when she goes to the fight. He also...
He's a translator? Does he not speak English? He's Brazilian. Can Alex Pereira speak English? He's not learned to speak fluent English.
says that Alex is wondering if she has a friend for him. I know it sounds stupid and unbelievable because I couldn't believe it myself. Why is this guy asking a 20-year-old girl to put him on with one of her friends?
Well, to him, right? That would be the reasoning.
When he's a 30-year-old, however, father.
How old is he? Age. He's 37, okay. 37, or wants to a 20-year-old, according to this girl.
Who should be able to just, like, talk to a woman his age at the fight. It was...
Apparently there's leaked DMs of her saying it was all for exposure for her OF. I highly
Nellis Pathdrafter says,
it's
what's
possible.
this island
At the
over
very
here?
least, it
Is
seems
that
like
occupied?
from how she's talking, and this is totally anecdotal, she seems like she thinks she's being honest at the very least. Now,
Hello
I don't
says,
know
I
what
do
the
not know.
situation is here, but
You do not have the right map.
it seems like she thinks she's being honest here at the very least. If those DMs exist, that's insane, but I would like to see those.
planned out on purpose because he does this all the time.
Alright, so this was a part of the story that I thought was a little bit far-fetched and also relatively confusing. So she goes on to comment about Alex Pereira's age. Now, look, Alex Pereira is 37 years of age, and Meredith G. Brown claims that she is 20 years old, which I don't know if that's the exact number, but I feel like she's trying to make the point that the age
Boots on the
gap
ground.
is really
Just
creepy,
who I wanted to
despite
see.
the fact that
I have
both
a
of them
request
literally
accepted.
met when
Boots on the
they were
ground.
grown adults. It wasn't like Meredith was
That's
fresh
true.
off of her 18th birthday. She was an established 20-year-old woman with an OnlyFans account. And then there's also another
I mean,
detail.
she's probably got a car,
Pioneer's
making
leather
money.
boots.
Like, this is not a child,
create
right?
Pioneer's
that
leather
she
boots.
points out, where she basically says that
You create
Alex Pereira
Pioneer's
plans this
leather
all the
boots.
time, which I don't know where she
Magnolia
got that
Oaken.
from. I don't know if...
Plans what? Like to have sex, or to what is she saying? Or he's lining up girls to. I mean,
You have been disconnected from Blizzard services.
If both adults are consenting, you can them, right? Like
That's what the translator said. She doesn't make it very clear in this video, but if that wasn't the case, I want to ask, how does she know that information? Where did she get that? Because as far as we know, that's baseless. We can't work off of that. That's just a nothing burger of a statement.
My friend sends Mel. She sends him my Instagram. Mel shows Alex my Instagram. Apparently, the only thing he said was chama. I'll try and find the text proof where my friend was telling me this.
You see, I wish you could have...
What does chama mean in Portuguese? Flame? So like he's saying she's fire, she's hot is what he's saying?
Done that before you made this video, because I feel like this video, if these allegations are true,
Trading Post Barker
are
says,
just
hey
a
friend,
very quick,
come check out our new
emotional
items in the Trading
response,
Post.
And
We just
that's
got a
not
new
good.
shipment.
As soon as you get
Relax
all
with the
the
rugged.
information, you have to
Only the
make
best will
a
do for our craft.
concise, carefully
These are excellent quality.
crafted allegation
You
that
receive item,
isn't
skinning field
just
notes.
based off of he said, she said.
Especially if you want to help other victims, because ultimately if you make an allegation without proof, right? Without proper proof, then what you're going to do is people are going to call you a liar, right? They're going to call you a piece of a liar. And not only that, but if there are actual real victims involved, you know, like this girl potentially or other people, you're going to prevent anyone from being able to come forward about that because the first allegation is going to be instantly discredited.
We go to New Jersey. Mel hits up my friend, invites us both to a private training at a gym called Cruise MMA, where Alex is training. We're the only women in there except for this older woman who's married to one of the people that's also sparring. I'm hoping I can find security footage. My friend spars with him. I videotape the whole time, and I'm sitting down
She's got to report this to the police, man. You got to take it to the cops.
watching. I can post the video that I took also, where my friend is sparring with him. Him and Mel take me and my friend outside of the gym that we were in after the training session. He comes on to me, goes behind me, looks at my ass, approves to his translator, which is also disgusting now that I know what his intent was, like I was cattle or something. Mind you, this man doesn't speak any English. I don't know what he's saying the entire time. His translator is translating for me everything he's saying and everything I'm saying. He tries to kiss me outside of Crew's MMA gym. I grab his face and I push him away.